Okay, we are up to session number 135 of Phase 3, Season 2, Episode 21. And we are up to video number 700 of our live play videos. So, getting there high in numbers. Though potentially expecting to get to 800 this year. Or early next year.
Nice.
So it sort of works out to around 130 sessions a year.
Yes. Which is impressive. A lot of games actually get to 130, let alone 700.
Oh, across the three. I'm going 1, 2, 4, that's 26. Where are we getting? Yeah, and then everything else here across all groups.
Yes, that is across all groups plus play test sessions.
Yeah.
So they all add up.
Because I couldn't make 26 equal 130 no matter how I tried.
No, that's fair.
But hey, I normally manage between 22 and 24 videos per game.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's as low as 20 if I'm sick, but rarely am I that sick. Okay, so today at the table we have Paul,
who is Cruel, diplomat, healer, warlock, recent more enemy than usual of one of his sisters.
It's because she's now playing politics with you.
Yes, and she lost that exchange, mostly because I got a really cool sword, but hey. He's hoping it stays that way.
Did she lose or did she make you take lead? That's a question you could always ask. She may have been pushing for you to do more.
Okay, given the way she's acted before, I'd actually go for... she may have pushed me, but she still got pissed off. So I'd say the answer is yes.
Probably not expecting you to actually go as far as you did, but hey, that's always worth it.
Yeah. Well, I've been learning from my colleagues in the party that when you go for something, don't go half measures. Particularly people like Lani. But, yeah. Saviour of the Elves, and also Destroyer of Elven Heroes. People don't know about those ones. A few other things. Oh, and talkative things.
There will be many more coming. Also at the table today we have Grant.
I'm Michael O'Shaughnessy, known as the Old Bastard, carrier of the Fire Shield and the Storm Shield.
Cool.
But not at the same time, because I suspect that we might have a meltdown by putting them near each other.
One on each knee.
Technically you can dual wield shields.
Yes.
And there are some builds that go completely off shields.
But I suspect these two shields are polar opposites, if you pardon the pun, given one's the shield of the Northern Waste. And then I'm putting it with the Fire Shield. May not be initially.
Well, the Fire Shield you have is actually anti-fire.
Yeah.
It's not about giving you fire, it's about stopping fire. So it's designed all about someone who has water aspect will get the most out of it. Because any other
fire shield, it shields you from fire.
Will take damage.
Well, if you give it a medium shield, I can put my shield of the Northern Waste at the front and then stand behind, and put another shield behind that, and then stand behind that.
Well, if the shield of the Northern Waste was a tower shield, you could definitely get away with doing that. I think it's just a large shield, not a tower shield. They are two different categories.
Right, okay. Yes, you're right, it's a large shield, I think, yeah.
The tower shield is designed to be let go of, whereas the large shield is designed to be planted.
Yeah, the large shield is effectively a normal kite shield.
Yeah, but it actually goes up to as large as a Roman scutum. And a tower shield is a scutum.
It's a pavis, basically.
It is a pavis. The thing is, pavises don't have to be that big.
No.
But
it's going to stick.
They're a bit different. Yeah.
Okay, online today we have Rhiannon.
Hi, I'm playing Sega, who is looking forward to a hunt.
Yes.
They did have a few interesting things happen last session. Next up we have is Jeremy.
Good evening all, I'm playing Zach Emma, the Atruaghin tribesman who was risen under the auspices of Atruaghin himself and the Great One to become Chief of Chiefs of the tribe, having been developed chieftain of the Dragon tribe, and serving at the clans and a few other random bits, including, well, Scouting Wind.
And general of the Darrakan army.
Very true, yeah, General of the Darrakan Army. Or
True,
a General of the Darrakan Army.
I keep forgetting my military rank.
Well, your military
Nothing wrong
rank
with being a
isn't as
sergeant.
important to your character because military isn't as important to you. But
No.
for Drachnuma, a military rank is just another title that he likes to wave around.
Well, yeah.
Uh,
It's part of being a
when
chieftain.
when you feel the need to, often you don't go around any title because you've got to
What it means for you is that you're not just chieftain of chieftains. You're also
That's
chieftain
not
of chieftains
Wellington,
and a
that's
chieftain of
hazelnut
Darrakans.
Wellington, if you would decide you like.
Darrakan people.
So
it's
really
a-
going around trying to drum up extra
Yeah.
truth.
It's a bigger chieftain.
He's doing it on behalf of different nations.
And last one online is Naomi.
So I'm Nadar, who's finally free of the curse of the fire god in the gem,
Cool.
and can finally sleep. And is just excited to get going. It's been a while since, he's been, conscious, I guess. I don't know.
Active near where the PCs are. So
Yeah, exactly. Off in PC land.
yes.
And bringing Nadar into the story tonight is Ariadna.
This is Calcrix, the white dragon with the jazz wings. Well, we used to say mostly white. It's more correct now to say that she's the silver dragon. Mostly silver.
Mm-hmm.
With the jazz wings.
Except for the graffiti.
She would like to start off the conversation with, "Hi, my name's I can't leave you guys alone for a second. You let Exantiotl corrupt your entire town?"
It's about. No, actually, I didn't.
Your town, right? Blood elves, yes?
Okay, what was the first part?
Symbology of Exantiotl, right?
What was the first part of what you just said?
You let.
How can I have let it when I wasn't there?
Your town.
You're the last apple.
There's a war on!
I am not at my town right now, but I am in constant communication with my town. There is a cart with a portal of which I stick regular missives in and get regular missives out that tell me, that I'm not being corrupted by Exantiotl. By the way, here's a cookie. We need to go and get some blood elves.
The cameras is frozen.
One of my cameras is frozen.
She
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah,
play.
I can see.
We need to go and get some blood elves and
Yes.
probably put them in a sack or something.
Blender.
A bag of holding.
Oh, a blender. It's all been a blender.
No,
Well,
it's
yeah,
hard to
yeah.
clean out.
Just use Ilford Dog example. We'll fork the whole place.
All we will do is we will catch the blood elves and then Eep will feed them cookies. Lots of anti-Exantiotl cookies.
Yes.
Can we feed them to eat?
No, but Eep will feed them cookies. If we feed them to Eep, we
Eep?
might be undoing things that we shouldn't.
I-
Look, it would be as bad as letting blood elves sneak into
Eep?
our town as refugees
Eep.
and corrupt
Okay.
our fellow people.
Eep is already bound to Nyx. It doesn't need cookies.
Okay, so
So
kill them all. Excellent. How do we do that?
I believe the interpretation would actually not feed cookies to eat. It
No.
was feed
Eat.
the elves to eat.
Eep
Well-
will feed cookies
to the elves.
to the blood elves. They will no longer be able to serve Exantiotl, and during that time they'll be re-educated and put to work taking care of people.
Right. So now
They
I need to say,
deliberately try and hunt my people. They will die.
Well, they could be used to hunt the people who hunt your people and then feed them cookies.
I believe Calcrix is trying to take over the Blood Elf Empire one cookie at a time.
Yes.
I think it can be done.
There is the thing too. Without the corruption of Adzantiotl, they might be willing to actually be sorry.
Yeah.
Which means you get to put them on trial.
What's up?
And
feed
once
cookies.
they're actually sorry. Oh no, you feed them the cookies first. That's the whole thing.
So you do expect
But-
from a lifetime of
Yeah.
brainwashing that would be very hard to undo.
Oh, we can fix that.
Depends. How many cookies do we need to force feed them?
You
No,
probably
we don't.
need to erase their entire memory
Hmm.
and
One
start
cookie at a
again.
time.
It depends. It depends on how you see that sort of brainwashing. If it counts as a mental problem,
Mm.
then restoration will fix it.
It's a cultural thing.
The cult is their entire culture.
Yeah, I know that, but it's whether you see the corruption of Anzanti. But if seeing that Anzantiotl has corrupted their culture, that's just how they grew up. So it's not a mental aberration. It's just they're bad people.
And even
How
with
about is
a
that
cookie, it doesn't stop
I
them.
thought
No,
about
no,
before,
I figure it's
Yeah.
not going to be simple enough to feed them cookies. It was just
No,
very
you know
funny
that.
to start.
It is.
That's a start.
It is.
Because
It's amusing, but
It's a start.
Yes.
At that point, you can find the ones who are going to be amenable to counselling, and have them talk to a suitably useful bard.
There might be some
Or cleric.
that will be convertible.
No, that's what I'm saying.
So,
And
you know.
some won't be. Someone will be straight out
Look,
psychopaths.
if we
at
can
which point
save
we'll
just
behead them.
one blood elf, but then we end up killing the rest, we haven't committed genocide, right?
Just 99.9%.
It's a cultural.
all the blood elves, just the ones in this town.
It's a cultural. It's a cultural group. It's not genocide.
All that means is you were bad at committing genocide if you saved one.
They also have the problem of they've dealt with Blood Elves
You failed your
before in
KPI.
the Wednesday night group, and the Blood Elves there gave no ground.
No,
Well, they're
I'd
not
be
going to. I know
expecting
that
they
much.
would.
I fully
I
expect them not to.
expect that it would be very hard to force feed them cookies.
Or even if you did,
And-
all it does is stop Anzantiotl from corrupting them further.
Right,
Yeah.
so we just isolate
Yeah,
them
sure.
for 3 elven generations and we're fine. There you go.
Yeah.
No problem at all.
Yeah.
I think Paul's elf. He should take his example from Ilsendur, the god elves, and we'll just destroy it.
I would say if he's staying true to Ilsendur, he would just walk away.
No, Ilsendur destroyed the entire line.
I'm pretty sure he abandoned a bunch though,
He
didn't he?
did abandon. Well, he abandoned the Shadow Elves.
And the Blood Elves are an offshoot of the Shadow Elves.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is kind of a part of your people.
And I worship Ilsendur. Thank you very much.
Who absolutely
Kind of.
loathes Shadow Elves.
Yes. And also, if he knew about my patron, would loathe my patron, and I would be turned to atoms.
So now that we're all discussing the Blood Elves and the big problem with the Blood Elves, we'll just ignore that I'm cuddling a form of
Tiamat.
Tiamat,
Yes.
whichever one you want, and that, I've got 3 of the elements required to become her
And
avatar.
he's not the corruptor.
Let's not do that.
Sorry, I just want an excuse to cuddle the dragon, so
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go finish
It's
my
what-
coffee while you guys
what they're
finish
for.
the start of the
Okay.
game.
Thing.
So the update of what we did last session, for those who missed it, is you decided to head to Llewell's Boil on the way to going to the Elves floating over Alpine as a stopping place. And you're doing this after speaking with the Sultan and getting his army to assist you against the Master,
Yes.
with potentially more members of that army, depending on if you can convince Elves to move into his space.
Yes.
Especially
Which
considering their Tree of Life literally regrows vegetation around it as part of its establishment.
Yes. Of which I'm in the we're in the process of doing. It's Tenova Voda is the town name. My boil. I'm going to change the name of it, but it was the name I gave to my collection of magic items.
And so after arriving, they found that Llewell's sister, the older one, not the younger one, the less scary one, had decided to renovate in his absence because, as far as she's concerned, he needs to step up and accept more of his livelihood and inheritance. And so had started converting everyone over to Shadow Elf tech and belief systems.
And I did a little bit of, no, my choice is bugger off, which ended up throwing her ships into the great depths and locked closed, so that's going to be fun when she gets out.
You just...
Did we get her name?
Sorry, yes, I should have actually put the names in chat.
And you did basically put her in a timeout for a month to go home.
Yes.
And I'm sure saying go to your corner, don't speak to me until you're finished.
So what were the 5
Something along that line.
ships? Because I couldn't.
They were Shadow Elf
determine.
They were Shadow Elf combat ships.
Okay, cool. Because when I was listening to the recording, I couldn't hear exactly what the floating things were. I just knew there were 5 things floating around.
Yeah, Martin just said there were. Yeah, Martin just said there were cruisers and they were floating in their green bits, which is they're Shadow Elf radiation powered ships.
And they were things that normally protected the underground cities.
Yep.
And we sent her back in one.
You sent her back in with all 5.
Yes.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
just going to take a month for it to.
Yeah. Basically, I threw them away for a month. I kicked them into next month. Of course, I used a legendary sword to do it, but still. My older sibling is Zanafia. That's my oldest sister. The next one down is Myathil. So that's the older my older and younger sister. I'm one of only 4, and my brother is called Immoral, who is
Older or younger?
He's younger. He's not actually officially an adult yet. He's only 114.
Hasn't bothered to do
Oh,
the
100?
adult ceremony.
Exactly.
Any time an elf is over the age of 100, they choose when they become an adult. They do not have to choose, but if they don't choose, they don't have a right to make decisions for themselves.
Yes, and he likes the idea of getting away with all sorts of crap because he's not an adult yet. Yes.
If you could throw those names into chat at some point so I can get the spellings right, that would be great.
Yep. We'll do that now.
Okay, so
I was
with
going to say, in addition to that, why do you think Calcrix keeps pointing out to everyone she's 12?
12,000?
Yes.
12 years.
Yeah, but are they Pluto years or are they solar years?
Yeah, it means that she just gets to get away with making mistakes because she's still a child, technically.
And she's only, I think she is 2 years younger than Drazzle.
Yeah,
which
which is why
timeline?
whenever I'm only 12,
In all the
Drazzle
timelines.
goes,
Drazzle was born after he walked around the world. How long has Drazzle lived is different to how old he is.
Exactly, yes.
So he's been negative thousands before.
Mm-hmm.
Operative.
Okay, so you also came across indications that the Blood Elves had been influential in messing with Llewell's estate. In which case you left last session with the idea you wanted to track those people down and do something about it, because who knows what else mischief they might get up to, because Llewell has caused significant problems to Antioch's plans in the past.
Good.
As has Drachnamar.
Time to go find some blood elves and feed them cookies.
Yes.
And
Are they choc chip cookies? Are they normal cookies?
The cookies, they're choc chip.
Just checking.
Actually, they're whatever flavour you
Want them to be?
your favourite flavour. So if your favourite flavour is butterscotch, they're butterscotch.
Yes.
That's their
I
magical
was just being
nature.
silly.
and
I thought you were asking about real cookies. I'm
No.
like, I've got choc chip
No.
cookies here. So
So you want the rice crackers?
No, I'm good. And Cal Creeks does turn up later that day with Nadar.
Cool.
You're not exactly sure when they turned up or how they turned up. They were just there.
Drazzle turns up with people.
One day they were there, one day they were not.
Yes.
Before Calcrix turns up, you guys receive like a letter saying that if you make it to the Dragon City in Yalaran before she gets there, you're expected, and it's okay.
Okay.
But obviously, when she turns up later, she sees that you guys haven't made it to the Dragon City yet.
Mm-hmm.
And she will tell you about her adventures when the time is appropriate.
That's fair. Yes, I'll put the names in chat.
Awesome, thank you.
Yes, I'll give you an idea on the younger of my sisters. She's the one who gave me a present of a magical spell book that was the skull of one of her exes.
Yeah, I think I'll get on with her.
How do you turn a skull into a book?
Magic.
Just magic.
A lot of hard work.
Well,
It's-
like, does it look like a book with like a hinge
No.
on the back of the skull?
No, it's the jaw. You open the jaw.
No.
Because that would be super cool. You pick up a skull off the table, right? Like this, and then you realise it's got a hinge, and you can just start leafing through these paper-thin bits of bone with text written on them. It is both the most terrifying, psychotic serial killer thing I've ever thought of or imagined, but also something I want now.
Well, I just imagined you stare into the eyes of the skull and read it that way.
Oh, I want a dragon skull like that. I am going to work on that in my downtime.
I have read a write-up of a wizard whose spellbook was tattooed slaves.
Yeah, no, we're talking about a dead
Bugger,
person
I've got
who
the wrong
doesn't
slave.
need their head anymore. I'm more comfortable with that idea.
I shouldn't have sold Fireball.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you mean I swap Fireball for Fairy Fire? Oh, Fairy Fire, come here, please.
So,
Hey, from what I know so far, I will get on with both your younger siblings.
Yes. Especially since Emerald, he's not done the adult thing because he likes the idea of singing saucy songs about elder elves, particularly now.
why can't you
Because
do that
the
when you're an
number-
adult?
Social repercussions. He's a noble.
Oh.
And at the moment, his parents have to deal with all the repercussions.
Yep.
As opposed to him.
Kind of see where he's coming from.
And he gets to poke fun at them until they force him into his adult...
Adult repercussions.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, you could say you don't become an adult by a certain time you're exiled.
Well, technically, if he doesn't by a certain age, he is exiled.
What age?
That is completely up to the parent to decide.
Oh,
Like when they
okay.
got the shits with you.
Pretty much.
Get out of home!
when you've done something that they can't fix, is my guess.
That is the theory about why teenagers are so bloody annoying. Around the sort of the mid-teen years, they're so annoying that in olden days you just kick them out of the house to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Let it be someone else.
What was the bastards come
Yeah.
back?
Well, that's the thing. If they come back, then they're invading your home.
Society doesn't see it that way.
Not
I
anymore.
said in olden days.
Now
Okay.
the government encourages you to take care of them.
We're civilized now. We
Civilized?
also need many more years to actually train someone to be useful.
Okay, so...
That's true, I wouldn't trust most 15-year-olds I teach to do much.
Yeah, that's fair.
You have a cart pulled by a large monitor lizard coming into camp as it's getting closer to dusk.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like its cart's made from the rib bones of a large creature.
So,
Okay.
is this being pulled by someone in particular?
A large lizard, monitor lizards.
No, but is someone at the head of this cart with the reins
Riding it,
on this?
riding it.
Who's driving the thing?
Yeah.
No one appears to be driving it.
So
it's going to be
I'm
responded
imagining
to.
things correctly or interpreting things correctly. Introductions ended. We're now doing session. Calcrix arrives with Nadar. Calcrix goes, "What the hell has been going on here? I heard something about blood elves." And she looks very pointedly at Cluel and goes,
So?
Yes.
Explain. Please explain.
I would like information.
There was some very
A
naughty.
lot more information.
Yes.
Hey, buds.
I described what was going on. There,
Yeah.
And so there's this. So finish group. There's this small group, or this group of very naughty blood elves that we're going to have to go and explain things to.
Exterminate.
And
Explain. Yeah.
well, while we're having this interaction, I guess I've met them outside of wherever they're staying or wherever.
Well,
We
are
see
in your
this
city
huge
or something like
monitor
that?
lizard walk
Yeah.
up with this cart. Is that right?
Yeah. But it's a town with a
Yeah.
wall and a gate.
But we're inside the town.
And upon seeing monitor lizard with cart, Calcrix forgets all about blood elves and the task she has to do, and then
There would have.
tries not to gallop up terrifyingly to the monitor lizard, but definitely gets closer and goes, "Hi, I'm Calcrix."
Yes. There would have been a horn from the gate saying something weird's coming in, but we're letting it through.
No horn sounded.
Oh dear. I have
Does
to
the
go and replace some people.
lizard react to the large
Or
dragon?
have an explanation with them too about.
No, you
you
sort of
and
have to
Dad.
fly down from the tree.
Also not doing it.
She
Something's
will
going wrong.
approach Dragon and greet. And if Nadar is riding Calcrix at the moment, Nadar is coming along. Because
I'm
Calcrix is not pausing to
100%
let her off.
riding Calcrix.
Okay, so as you come down, the monitor lizard goes into a very submissive gesture.
Calcrix sounds
You ever
really...
seen one of the wizard Lord's back with his legs in the air?
Calcrix will give a really low bow, and she'll give her friendliest voice and say, "Hello, I'm Calcrix," in several languages until she gets understanding.
It sort of
She
blinks
does
at
have-
you, but doesn't seem to be understanding.
She has the animal of friendship ring, so she'll use that if she needs to.
Okay, so while that's happening, you're seeing Calcrix has flown down and the cart has stopped. Probably about 100 feet from the tree line,
On the outside of the village,
Oh.
or this is inside.
outside of the village.
Oh, so, okay, so
it
they
is outside.
they're
approaching, but not coming
right.
in.
Okay.
That would be why they didn't do the horn thing.
Well, because they didn't get here. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at that per se. I am looking at everything else around us.
Mm-hmm.
And
Good idea.
Calcrix can hear the sound of some sort of musical instrument in the back of the cart.
Ah.
Right, I look at the cart. I'm going to go down there too.
Hello. That's
Well, I
nice
might as well join the
music.
crowd.
Okay, so as you're doing that, you see a youngish-looking elf stick her head above the line of the cart.
I'm sorry, I think I scared your lizard.
She looks at it and goes, "Hey, he's scared of everything."
Aww. Eep offers lizard cookie.
Lizard takes it from a distance.
He goes and finds a tree to hide behind to chew on it in peace.
And Llewell recognises his younger sister.
Greetings, Martel.
Oh, hi, I see you've made it home. Your sister said you were on your way. I was supposed to show up a bit earlier, but hey, pulls a what is currently a blonde-haired elf out of the cart. You're realizing your younger brother is wearing a disguise.
Well, you missed the fun of our elder being informed that what she'd done was not very welcome. again, this was probably a bit more than she's used to.
Well, they did lock her in a room for a year.
I've only locked her in one of her ships for a month.
Well, she messed with my stuff, so I removed all the doors from her chamber.
Are you one
As
of the
in
reasons why
replace
she's
them
as
with
snarky as
walls?
she is?
Probably.
I get the feeling you all are.
Well, I'm perfectly nice. Just ask me.
Yes, but she did destroy the experiment I'd spent 5 years making.
Which experiment was this? How
Something
would
magical.
interrupt even though
Yeah,
she's
she's
just as curious.
she's an enchanter. It was going to be something esoteric.
I was trying to make a universal translator.
That would be very useful.
Would be.
Mm.
I've only learnt 9 languages, and this ring only works to a certain amount. I can't talk to your lizard. I'd really like to.
Oh, he doesn't like to talk to people. He's a scaredy cat.
I'm not a person.
He thinks that you're a person.
You can talk. You're a person.
I
fact
could make roaring sounds at him,
the
but that
fact-
would probably scare him more.
The fact you're a dragon doesn't make you not a person.
Oh, I know. I'll try interpretive dance.
You'll probably like that.
Valkyries will give a go at interpretive dance. If you make me roll, someone's going to have to get my dice roll.
Are you multi-classing as a dance bard now?
Wait, if I'm on top of Calcrix, what does that mean for me?
It
You might want to
Hang
go
on!
Get off or hang on. Yeah.
Very tightly.
And I see because you got me my dice, I'm going to have to roll for this.
Well, you did say you were doing interpretive dance.
I don't have my stats on me, so hopefully it doesn't come up. I got a 19
That's not bad.
plus, I think it's an 11 for charisma. Interpretive dance is under that.
So a 30 on your dance.
Yeah.
And I'm sure every now and then it involves a flying Nadar and a catch, and a flying Nadar and a catch.
I'm definitely juggling Nadar.
Poor Nadar.
Hell yeah.
This probably caught my attention enough that I'm paying attention to what's happening here instead of everything around us.
And yes, you do see that there are 2 elves down below with Luel in a cart made of bone.
Dracnima's hiding in the shadows of a tree going, thank God no one can tell I'm a part of this group.
Whereas the old bastards just standing there watching it.
Yes.
I'll make my way down.
He might have ducked away to start killing off these Angantic overwatch.
Something like that,
I'll make my way down,
Yes.
intrigued.
Okay.
Anyway.
And so you start hearing a song from
Actually,
your younger brother
How high up are
about
we?
one of the misfortunes of your youth.
You're high enough to see over the wall at this point, so probably about 50 feet.
Can I do acrobatics leap down?
You can.
You're in a great tree, so you can actually go from branch to branch and bounce down.
Can I do that?
You can.
Because just a 50-foot leap is pushing things a bit, even for a rogue or a monk.
Trained
A
acrobat.
monk could do it. Yeah, possibly. I can't remember the exact.
You normally reduce the falling distance, but hey, 50 feet can still hurt.
Yeah.
I am rank 3. What does that mean? I can't remember. I have an expertise dice, and I am rank 3. That gives me advantage, doesn't it?
I believe it does. I'll
Yeah.
have to look it up later.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and also.
I need to find the appropriate thing.
Yeah, but I think
Acrobatics,
it
I get
totally
advantage with specialization, and this is either. This could be counted as tumbling or swinging, yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that is 22.
22. You do manage to make it down without any major mistake and look fairly graceful while doing it.
Excellent.
Of course, most people weren't looking in your direction, so very few people noticed.
Except for Calcrete,
Yeah.
who paused in mid dance with Nadar in high up in the air, gives you a little bit of a clap. Remembers Nadar's high up in the air, catches Nadar, and then puts it down gently and looks at the lizard to see whether or not the lizard's willing to communicate yet.
The lizard looks like it's interested in what you're doing. Seems every time you toss Nadar up, he got excited.
Because you're throwing food.
Alright, we know what we need to do.
Hey,
Right.
come on, I'm just saying this before. I don't really mind. Either I'm getting your attention or I'm getting practice.
Seeing we're not going to get inside anytime soon, how about I get some refreshments brought out to us?
Okay. You have one of your workers give Father Pat the pile of refreshments.
No, they're going to carry it out. Pat's just going to...
I'm just standing. I'm not hanging around. I just look at this guy as if he's some sort of fool. Little bit of Sergeant glare.
Oh, that'll turn him alright. Yeah, he'll go and do it himself.
What's it? You're not going to join your friends outside? Oh, I don't know.
No,
Peasants
I'm
he says as he
outside, but
walks
I'm not
off.
handing around the drinks.
I'm trying to remember. Well, I'm fairly sure said Shadow. Yes, you said Shadow Elf last session.
He did.
Yes, I
Because
did.
there was a moment where Paul paused and went, "Oh, I did say that out loud."
Yep.
Damn.
Yes.
And
Yes.
as the guy starts handing the drinks out, he does say to Llewell, "Oh, your peasant friend didn't want to help."
Did I hear this?
Probably, he said it loudly.
I'm presuming I don't recognize this guy.
Oh, he's just one of the workers who work for you.
That's not what I'm asking.
He has Shadow Elf markings.
Yeah.
Where Shadow Elves think of every other race as peasants and beneath them.
Yes.
I'm just going to look across at Llewell with my hand on my sword
I-
and let him make the decision as to how he wants us to react.
I have an idea you don't cut a man down for
My
insulting, but you know.
compatriots.
No, but I can beat him to beat the bugger out of him with the flat of the sword.
Excuse
I
me.
was gonna say, you could
Excuse
do
me, can I
something.
speak, please? My compatriots are members of my clan and are to be treated as such.
He pauses for a bit and goes, "Minor members? Children?"
They are adults in their own way.
Except me, Galgrick says. I'm 12.
She's an adult in her own mind sometimes.
Occasionally.
She has stopped doing acrobats for the lizard, though.
Can I figure? Is it just who in particular was he referring to?
He was referring to non-elves because the Shadow Elf philosophy is that non-elves are beneath them.
So not me.
Well, unless if you're not a Shadow Elf and you're an elf, then you're an enemy.
Okay. Can I sneakily put my hand in my bag of tricks and pull something out?
I'm sure you can.
Well, he's looking at me, so yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's distracted.
And I'm just waiting for you to give guidance to how you want me to handle this.
Well, I just told him how to act, so
Yeah. We'll see how he
you follow
responds.
that. No, he'd better.
So coming from my hand, for anybody who's watching me, but the guy isn't, he's watching Llewell.
Yeah.
Small fluffy thing slowly expands into a giant elk,
Oh, cool.
which starts chasing the guy.
Do you control the creature that comes out?
It's friendly to me and my companions, acts on my turn, and I can use a bonus action to give it simple commands. So chase him.
Right, so you
Yeah.
you have to tell it, so we hear you say so.
I whisper it, but yes.
Although it's up to you what language you use.
Primordial.
Yeah, he's unlikely to know that one.
There is a 50% chance that the creature is hostile.
Ah,
Oh dear! Mayhem in the court.
as little as that.
I know this one.
Okay, you're lucky. Okay, so it charges, and you see that the guy doesn't even see it coming as it slams right into his back with its horns.
I laugh.
And you hear a snapping sound,
Ooh.
and it just running off down the road with him flopping off the horn.
I can fix that if you'd like.
Please.
I
could as well. but
yell,
this is yours.
come back.
Okay, it flicks the thing off its horn and comes back.
Okay, it's going to stand with me for now.
Calcrix is going to go off and fly over to Broken Backed Elf, pick him up gently, bring him back to the people who have the spells to fix Broken Back, and drop him in front of them and go, "Fix, please." I believe that will be Clue or Drachnema. Is it
Okay,
Clue?
so
It's just rolling his eyes.
It's likely to be Chloe because, and
you see a non-moving elf with eyes open, laying in front of you, in a really weird, twisted position.
right, revivify them.
Calcrix looks at you very earnestly and says, "I don't think a cookie's going to fix this one."
Not a cookie.
I
No.
was looking for a weasel, not a giant elk. I rolled an 8. I was hoping to get like a 1 or 2.
I know this roll that you're talking about. I was looking at these spells.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any, by the way.
I like my bag of tricks.
Oh, look, I don't object to them. I'm just like... I considered the ramifications of the dice trying to kill me and me picking those spells as being a disaster that, although maybe enjoyable, not helpful in the end.
Yes.
I could have got a weasel, a giant rat, a badger, a boar, a panther, a giant badger, a direwolf, or a giant elk. I rolled an 8.
Yes.
Goodness,
Okay,
it wasn't
so-
a direwolf.
You okay? Yeah. Scaring people. Yeah. I didn't expect that to be an actual attack, particularly not a lethal.
No, I
one.
just said chase. I didn't intend to attack.
It did chase.
Yeah.
He just didn't run.
It's just caught.
And the elk can move faster than a person can.
Right.
True.
I don't know enough about this guy to go. Let's spend the extra money and give him a lesson and use reincarnate.
How
So-
much does it cost? The
Reincarnate.
reincarnate, yeah.
It's $1,000, I think.
And even
It's entirely affordable for people at our level, but it's not cheap.
and even Revivify costs money.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's 300 gold with no guarantee the spell will work.
Calcrix
Yeah.
will
Probably
say...
Yes.
better.
He has to want to come back.
I'm
I
This is
have
technically
1,000 gold
dying.
on me, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
I'm happy to pass over $1,000.
Yeah. Calcrix is
We'll
like,
see.
it's our party, our responsibility. It would have been funny if it was a weasel, but it was an elk. He's dead. We need to reincarnate him if he wants to be reincarnated.
Yeah.
Plus, it
I
will
need-
not restore any missing body parts.
No.
Like his spine.
No.
That is one of the things that is
takes.
currently
Missing.
Yeah.
destroyed.
That's why. I
Well, he's
was,
not missing his
That's
spine.
why-
It's all in there. It's just
that's
broken.
why I started by talking about restoration. Because you cast that at 4th level, it'll actually fix broken missing
Yeah.
bones.
Yeah, I
Right.
think you're going to need to start with
This is
that.
going to be a revivify first. I need to check something. I think.
I don't know. I came out to play with the
Um,
lizard. Now we're reincarnating a dead body. You never know how your days
Hold
go.
it, guys. I didn't foresee that. I'm happy to pay for whatever components we need for the spell.
Okay, so
Yeah.
lesser restoration will not
Um,
work on him
no.
unless he's brought back because he's not a valid.
Oh, I know
target.
that
Yeah.
because I've got to do that first. I was talking about it first because I didn't know he was dead yet.
Mhm.
Revivify is the preferable one at this point because 1, 300 gold rather than 500 or 1,000, depending on which other one you're doing.
Mhm.
And Vivify, it just brings them back. They don't get to choose, which they do with Resurrection. Revivify is they're just it. Let's stop that.
I have a 300 gold diamond on me, wouldn't I, Martin?
I'm sure you would have.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have to be a single diamond. It just has to be diamonds worth 300 gold.
Yeah.
I pull out a 300 gold diamond and pass it to a well. Sorry.
Thank you. So,
I still also have an awful lot of diamond dust from the
Yes.
Shadow lands.
yeah, and actual diamonds, which you said you'd actually got hold of at one point as well.
Mm-hmm.
For exactly this sort of thing. This and the restorations. Because we go through a lot of them some from time to time. Now, what's the... It's... the rolls, it's 8 plus half the spell level, right?
For
They check for doing a ritual.
check for doing a ritual is 10 plus twice spell level.
Right.
So that means
That's
that's
16 in this case.
Yeah, 16, yeah.
Yeah. Which is not...
Which will take 10 minutes.
Yep. And the ritual itself will extend the amount of time I can do this, because otherwise Revivify as a ritual is useless.
Mm-hmm. Well, normally you have to start it within the minute of it going
Oh
down.
yeah.
As long as you started in that
As long
time.
as you
it
start at the
counts.
time, yeah. Because otherwise you've only got a minute, and that's no good for anybody.
As soon as I saw that, like, what had happened, I would have called the elk back.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right. Fortunately,
Dracula's going to go up to the elk and give it a pat and talk to the elk and say, "Good start, not your target yet, but we'll work on it."
Well, it
The
does
the old
tell.
soldier's standing there rolling his eyes.
It does tell Draknamar back in Elk language that it caught the target.
It did.
Right in the back.
Dracula was happy with the result. It's just that it wasn't a Dracula follow-on, we believe. So,
yes.
What did you get?
I'm not wasting my level 8 roll.
No, you're...
I'm not wasting my 8 roll. I'm keeping this thing around for a while.
Now, fair enough.
Interestingly
Yeah.
enough, Jeremy, I was going to say when he first made the comment about peasants that Calcrix was going to do a perception check to see if it was a blood elf or not.
No, it's a shadow elf.
Typically it
Well,
was.
they are sort of...
Back into the elk. And we call the blood elk,
Yeah.
do a better job.
Anyway, I've done the ritual,
Mm-hmm.
and given my skill and the fact I've got an expertise die, I can't actually fail on this level spell.
You can overachieve. So what did you get?
I can potentially... What happens when I overachieve on a...
That's
We're
what I'm
gonna find out when you do
Martin's
it.
getting you to roll to find out. Either way, you're not getting out of that dice roll.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. 30.
30. Okay. So 30 is definitely overachieving.
Bit like an elf being pulled out when you're looking for a weasel.
Yeah.
Okay, so you find yourself in communion with Raphael and Ilsundal. And apparently neither of them is able to find the soul you're looking for.
Which...
Means it
Means
could
he's-
well be a blood elf.
No, well, he's going to be a blood elf because it means he's neither of these two.
Could be, yeah.
So I...
Or he's a non-believer.
Or he's an atheist, which is...
You might really kind of hope to have dropped it already as well.
That's exactly what we're talking about. That's what a blood elf is. He's already following Adzantiotl, and Adzantiotl is not in this Zoom call.
And amusingly, Seeker would also not be found by the similar call. Seeker doesn't follow either of those two.
Well, that's fair.
You might have
Yeah.
you might have to
Yeah.
work your way through the phone book now.
Could I investigate the body?
Well, in the middle of the ritual, no.
Well, I'm going to... I've got 10 minutes to do this. I finish up and go, it's not to be found. Neither of the gods involved with elves or shadow elves knows where it is.
Can I investigate now?
Yes, please.
Okay, an investigation check.
Let me just check to see if I have it's a specialization.
Yes, I will.
Uh,
I will use.
no, my specialization is deciphering. I'm guessing you're not going to let me decipher the origin of the blood elf.
Decipher will not work on this one, no.
No, not unless he's got something tattooed on him.
I have a question. Since Eep hands out the anti-Exantiotl cookies, and she is technically a servant, I guess, of Nyx, would she be able to tell when people serve Exantiotl? No. She wouldn't have any particular skills or advantages in that direction, would she?
Not particularly, no.
Okay.
27.
27. Okay,
nice.
so as you start examining the body, you realize your hands are burning.
Okay.
Blood elf? That's fine.
You're not quite sure. You've never experienced that so much as touching someone has caused your hands to burn. And it's a visible burning for everyone around you.
Ooh.
That
Father Pat
doesn't
gets
seem
in and pushes
normal,
the body
guys.
away with a sword.
No.
What was that?
I just use my sword to push the body away from her.
Yeah. And prestidigitation on your hands to clean them, just in case.
Eep goes round and insists everybody has a cookie.
And if people object, he throws it at them.
Oh, no.
He throws it at
No,
them.
not just throws it at you.
Flings
Just
it into your
continue
mouth.
mashing it in your face until some of the crumbs get in there.
I will take
Yeah,
one.
you can
I'm going to take one.
Emma is not very cookie, as always. And so, seeing this,
And has
Phil will have a
Tiny
close
Eep
look at the
sitting on
body.
his shoulder, shoving cookie into his cheek.
Or his
Which
ear.
is what happened last time.
Into his ear. That
What
counts
would
as...
I have to
pretty
roll
much.
to know? What would I have to roll to understand the burning hands?
That I will give you a society roll. While
Culture?
Drachnamar, a culture, yeah. While Drachnamar's having a look at the body.
Mind you, Jeremy, Martin was the one who told me that happens, not me.
Yes,
But I'm happy for you to remind me.
Yes, I'm going to do a passive perception from up here.
Okay, so while
Noting
Drachnamar,
that the concern for the influence of that Scantiotle around here at the moment, that currently what Dracula's focus is at this stage. So that means more of a religion and a investigate what sort of thing would you like to roll in that sort of idea.
well, as you're examining the body, you do feel a vibration coming from your coax tool.
I rolled a 22.
I'm going to apply it to that tool.
That is correct. Yes, I got the wrong word. So make a tool.
That's right. Certainly, yes. The expectation was to have the blade out and use it as part of the investigation tool.
So as you
And I rolled 22 on culture.
22 on culture, whatever it is an anathema to your people.
Would blood elves burn everybody, or just like other elves and things?
They are particularly nasty to fays.
Fey elves.
Yep.
And-
So I'm thinking blood elf.
And as Drachnamar touches it with his blade, you see the entire body morph and become burnt skin looking coloured elf
Okay.
with no hair.
Mm-hmm.
How are the siblings
It would appear that
responding?
you would indeed go up and spread bread in thought. We had heard village.
No, that's not the response.
Eep starts smacking Drachnamar with the cookie because it sounds like something a blood elf would say.
So
So, I'm particularly wide.
What was that, Grant?
I thought Father Pat pushed the body away with his blade.
You did, but that didn't do anything.
You'd be more effective
You pushed
in,
it away from Seeker.
Oh, right, okay.
And then we had Drachnamar look at it himself and poke it with his blade.
Right, okay.
And his blade acts against Exantiotl itself.
I was going to say, you'd be more effective with Eep to pick her up by some of her leaves and just pop her on the ground.
No, that would be too tough.
Unless, of course, Eep starts to look like Draktamar, in which case...
I was going to say, kicking Eep might mean Eep might do something you might not. Yeah.
Does someone want to search him
Jack
for...
right now, and he's not thinking about what he might want to do. He's thinking about the fact that this village or this town is influenced by the orcs, so therefore, there are more important things right now.
So what did he try to do to Eep?
Kick.
He can kick him away.
Okay, so you realise you can't feel your foot after kicking Eep.
Mm-hmm.
And looking down, you can't see anything below your knee.
What?
He did kick Eep, but Eep opened mouth at that time.
Calcrix at this point is going to tell Eep to leave Draktamar alone and give him back his leg. Whole and untouched.
With his foot as well, or just his leg?
His whole leg, foot, all of Draktamar's bits that he might have that
Needs to give back.
Eep has accidentally, she's going to put it down as
And
accidentally.
ensure you keep that beast of darkness away from me forevermore.
Well, you didn't kick
You
him.
kicked
It wouldn't happen.
Calcrix gives Draktamar a look and goes, you could have just taken the cookie. You didn't even have to eat it. You could have passed the cookie to someone else. But no, you had to kick the Fey Dark plant. Hopefully Eep returns Draktamar's foot. She picks it up. It's like, you stay here.
Yeah, have a
now."
cookie.
While all of this is happening, can Sega sidle up to Nadara and say, I can't touch it. Can you strip him so I can search his stuff?
Yeah, I think we should search the body for clues.
Yeah,
Um,
Nadal's just like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Not wanting to witness
I will-
what the heck just happened.
Yes, I will add the effect of a mage hand.
Okay,
So-
Mage Hand doesn't move anything on the body.
That is really interesting. And useful information.
Can I would already know that about Blood Elves, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
No.
This is your first-hand experience with a Blood Elf. Everything up until now has been childhood must-behave stories.
Mm-hmm.
Surely, like, Satoshi would have told me something about Blood Elves to keep an eye out for them.
He would have, but it's all in the be careful, the Blood Elves might be there. Here's the sort of things you look out for.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't have had a lot of encounters with them himself.
And not physical contact.
They are basically things of legend that have only been on the surface world a couple of times as far as history is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Would any of the legends involve magic not working on them?
It basically says they are warped and not what capabilities they have, just that they are warped.
So they're anti-magic
Okay.
just by existing.
And poor Jeremy's
So I
having
don't-
connection issues.
Oh,
Mm.
No, it's just that he didn't want to deal with Eve anymore.
He's going hunting for his foot.
To be fair, we gave him back his foot, and Eve is now going to be told later on to leave poor Draktamar alone.
Again.
Do you have a feeling Ape did like what Ape tasted?
Did
oh, don't look,
Yeah.
just straight.
Yeah.
I will look. I will do an investigate check later, I just can't touch it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Okay, so as Nadar is stripping the body, you do get a smell of not well treated skins,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that the body is dressed in humanoid skins.
Oh,
Charming.
right. Is he carrying anything though?
He does have a symbol of Atzantiotl around his neck,
Mm-hmm.
as well as various digits and bits of people.
I feel like when we're finished doing this, I should be casting Disintegrate.
No. Got this all covered. There's a
Back again.
there's a cantrip called Voidmaw, which will basically
I was going to say I have a feat to hide bodies really well, but
And
that sounds better.
I think we should be destroying the symbol of Xantiodal so it can never be.
And also
Well,
note
Belagos
for
was.
Lowell that the diamonds weren't consumed in the spell
Yeah.
because the spell couldn't find a valid target.
Yes. By the way, that diamond, you could have that one back. Neither of the gods that I can contact were interested.
All the gods they could contact.
Or the gods they could contact.
Thank you.
Yes.
Which means most of the Elven Pantheon weren't responding.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
that's
doesn't sound like
Antiochus.
they would.
Yeah, pretty obvious. But yeah, the Voidmaw, inanimate corpses and tiny or smaller non-magical objects hit by the spell disintegrate to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's a very focused disintegrate.
Before we do that,
yeah.
can I quickly do an investigate check and see if there's anything that I could use to help track down his fellow Blood Elves?
And I'm going
also
to
like
do
to
a
investigate.
passive investigate as well. I'm just going to look at it and go, what do I see that stands out?
Okay, so the clothes he was wearing have magical sigils etched into them, like tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
Probably are actual tattoos.
Are they all the same style? Or did he take it from people who already had tattoos when they died?
Hard to tell. They weren't done by the same person, that's for sure.
Right.
What
No.
do I add to, like, if I'm doing an investigation?
Intelligence.
Along with the other people's.
Normally intelligence,
Okay.
because it's going by memory.
I think 1 plus 7 intelligence.
Does it have any
Yeah.
weapons on the body at all?
It has no visible weapons, though you do see that the fingertips are bladed.
Right. Do I?
So he said it. He
Do I
was
know
set up as
anything
an
all about
assassin.
Blood Elves? I suspect I know nothing.
For you, this just looks like a burnt elf.
Yes, that's what I thought was the case. Yeah, alright. I'll just stand there.
I rolled a 33 for a standard investigation.
Nice.
Okay, so it looks as if whatever society this elf came from invests in augmentation of the body for their magic.
Okay.
And it looks like through some sort of ritual sacrifice.
Would Nadara come across anything like this in the studies that he's done?
This sort of practice is not documented in anything you would have looked at. Not even the dragons go this level of augmentation.
Speaking of dragons and not documented in augmentation,
Have a
Calcrix
cookie.
pulls out 4 sets of books that goes, do you want to make use of that diamond?
You know it won't actually get you information of the Hollow World.
It won't? Oh, okay.
Because the
Well,
Blood
then I
Elves
won't
are
do
of
that
the
then.
Hollow World.
I
One of-
wanted to write this shit down. It'll just have to go in my journal.
Part of the magic of the T-Rex god Ka, that everything in the Hollow World can't be divined.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to go there and find it out yourself.
Which nobody wants to do, I presume.
Oh, it's bloody difficult and dangerous.
And magic is worked there.
Yes.
I rolled a second investigation check to look at the tattoos with my deciphering specialization,
Mm-hmm.
and I rolled a nat 20.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Plus my expertise dice, which was a 5, plus my proficiency and thing, which is another 10, so that would make it 35.
Okay, you have figured out that tattoos on his clothing is his spellbook.
Yeah.
I am
That's not a spellbook I want to keep.
putting
No.
On the other
lots
hand,
of notes in
copying.
my journal.
on
My
the oth-
secret.
And it's tattooed on the inside and the outside.
Not of the spells themselves, mind you, just of what to look for when hunting down Blood Elves.
Would I recognize? Not that I'm, very magic, but would any of them make sense to me? Like, is there anything that would hint to me something I can look for when looking for these blood elves?
Each one of these seems to be about sacrifice.
We've come across
Oh.
blood elves before.
You have, yeah.
Tuesday group.
Hmm.
Lani's cabin had blood elves there. Do we remember anything when dealing with those blood elves?
They were
About maybe tracking them down?
They were not obvious to track down.
No, but we did encounter traps and symbology and I think runes. So would any of that capture our attention in terms of giving us an idea of where to start looking for the ones
Would add to things.
in Lureland?
You know, they have their entire culture derived from that of Atruaghin's ancestral people.
So this is all Dragnomer's fault.
So Atruaghin, when he was alive, was a member of the race that degenerated into what's called the Azkans now.
Yes.
And they took what was used to be like sacrifices of food, sacrifices of drink, sacrifices of material goods, into sacrifices of sentient beings.
Yeah.
Well, I guess then as a starting point we might want to start looking for missing people.
He's wearing several of them.
Yes, but I mean we want to
Right.
try and find...
That
So
was
in
one
one
of my
session
thoughts.
it was mentioned that they had probably got a base or something
Yeah.
in which there's possibly some kind of, I think, device. I couldn't quite understand everything that was being said.
Yeah.
And that was used to help with them corrupting other people or conducting the corrupting magic. I can't remember what, but we might want to be looking for a location of that origin. And
Yeah,
and
if the missing people all went missing.
I'll talk
One
to
thing
my people.
Llewellyn does know is the superiority complex of the Shadow Elves is also amongst the Blood Elves.
Yeah. I'm not entirely surprised. In fact,
It's not
I would
much
say
different.
it's more so.
No, it's not much different.
So just interrogate
Okay.
the entire village and see who's the snottiest.
I can ask her about, well, as I said,
Probably
talk
his
to my
youngest
people.
sister would be the snottiest.
Yeah, but
She's very good at doing that.
Speaking of which, I think either Nadar or Seika mentioned what is the siblings' reaction to this blood elf.
Curiosity. Younger sister starts pulling out a journal. You can see the journal has what looks to be a creature's spine as its spine.
yes,
Oh,
well, that
dear.
is my sister. Yes. Wizard, enchanter, gardener, goth. So
Has she spent any significant time in your village? And would she?
not this sister.
Yeah. Okay. So we need
No.
to.
Well, everyone, I'll get rid of the body
Mm.
and all of what it's wearing, because I don't want to learn any of those spells.
Look, your sister
So-
says she could make use of all of it.
Sure she could.
Of course she could. But we don't want her making use of it either.
What use would you make of it?
Well, she would get it to tell her all about itself.
Yeah,
That could be useful.
if you could give us a report of the results, that would be incredibly useful.
Should be more than helpful. She orders your younger brother to pick it up and put it in the cart.
Do they hand burn?
Watch.
They
them.
do not burn.
Yes.
Can I ask what the outcome, because my Discord dropped out at a very inopportune moment, what was the outcome of Dracula's loss of leg?
He was given the leg back thanks to Calcrick's convincing Eep to give it back.
And it has
Okay.
also
By just-
been explained that Drachnomer is not corrupted. And he doesn't need any cookies.
And so Jack Dimmer, when the time went out, so good when it went out your end, but yeah. Jack Dimmer was getting the round to do not let that thing of darkness near me again.
Yes,
We heard that bit.
we got that line and then you cut out.
That's okay. The thing of darkness now knows not to bother you.
Yes.
So it does think you're tasty.
Some years ago.
Oh yeah, she does think that you are incredibly tasty.
And if you're ever going to change your minds later, they'd be quite interested.
Well, yes.
So,
but then as I said, the kind of thing that Jack Dimmer was intending to talk with the spirit of this creature to try and find its friend.
yeah, except not right now, because it's a bit dead.
I said spirits.
He can
If you
talk
can-
to spirits.
Yep, cool. Yes. If you can extract info, and then my sister can do the same. I think though now we've got the body in your cart, that I think we could all actually go inside now and sit down and maybe freshen up a little and have a drink and catch up and.
Hang on, isn't that how this all started?
What?
With a drink.
What?
You do see
What drink?
the drink that the servant brought down,
Oh,
which you notice is currently boiling in the grass.
Yeah, I would say maybe
don't drink that.
avoid that.
There's a part of Calcrix that's like, well, is it a good boiling or a bad boiling?
Right.
Drinks can be
I-
had hot.
Given what it's doing to the grass, I'm going to void more it.
Okay, it basically disappears, as does
Yep.
the section of grass it was on.
Yep. Good, because it was going to have started soaking in.
And you do have a really bad vibrate going through everyone in proximity to it. It's like that deep bass thing that just sort of goes right through the body. Wave magic tends to do that.
Yeah.
You feel it more than hear it.
Yes.
Feel less apologetic about killing this thing.
In hindsight, you did a great thing. Thank you. But, yeah. Yes.
Lowell's younger sister does say you probably don't want to touch it. You got a bit of fae in you.
Yeah.
She notices that?
No. She knows I have more fae than most elves do.
Ah, okay, so she was talking to you.
You are explicitly a fae being. I'm a slightly fae being.
Okay, cool.
So
I was like, how does she know that?
Lowell is a member of the Fae Court, so Lowell is considered a Fae being for the purposes of Fae magic.
Specifically, I have one of the fae specific feats.
I gather that means
Yeah,
Eve
which
doesn't
one?
want to touch it either.
Eve has no problems touching
I
it
got fae
okay.
teleportation.
because
Fae
it's the wild
Well,
Fae
it
that it
Gives me a
affects.
couple of things, including fae
Don't
step.
suppose Eve gets an
Okay,
investigation roll.
cool.
Yeah.
Eve gets a.
Investigation roll.
Eve would probably consume it and then tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That'd be one way of getting rid of the body.
Yeah. But that feat's also why I can speak Sylvan without having to go and learn it.
Okay, so
Because I just know it.
the cart does rumble on in, and what is Drachnamar using to speak with the spirit?
Oh, we'll start with the people who speak with dead first of all. Because he can do that effectively, instantaneously with the particular attribute, to the effect that he can use speak with dead without any preparation or without using a slot. Technically, nothing to get the body or anything like that available. Just a grave marker or a statue or a painting will all work for him.
Okay, so as you're not technically speaking to the soul, you're speaking to the body. What's the 5 questions you ask the body of its memories? You don't have to do them. You don't have to say them all. You can say one at a time, but you get 5 questions.
Yeah. When were you first corrupted by the corruptor?
God, I would have started off with, where are the rest of your people in this village?
Yeah.
Not your bloody personal history.
Okay, so
But we're not asking the questions.
Oh, Dracula wants to know how far back it goes, and therefore how deep the corruption is likely to spread.
Yeah.
it says it was never corrupted.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why I would have started off with, where are all the people?
When did you start following Antiochus would have been more useful, because it's not going to see
Probably from the day of its birth.
because it's not going to see it as corruption.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
It's Dracula's questions.
I know that.
born.
but I was-
And Dracula gets to ask his second question.
Yes.
Without our help.
And I'm asking them from the perspective of Dracula, not from me as a player, thinking
Oh, yeah.
what the options would be.
Yes.
Well, Calcrix's perspective is, we need to find them. So that's where all of her questions would be targeted. But as you said, it's your questions, your
Oh,
choice.
I would have some very pointed questions, but I'm not the one casting the spell.
Okay.
Well, technically we could ask to have put in questions. We've done that before, but we should have done that before the spell was cast.
And what is people could answer Strachnamar to ask other questions because it is a verbal answer the corpse gives
Yeah.
to his verbal question.
Also noting that it's not under compulsion to be truthful under the normal critical test situation. Dracula is also then taking note of using insight to determine if he's expecting truthful or false answers.
You believe from the corpse's point of view that was a truthful answer?
Right. From the corpse.
Name your colleagues in this area who have also been under the influence of the corruptor.
Okay, it starts listing all of Llewell's senior staff.
That'd be about right.
Is it do we know it's telling the truth? Anyway,
But I do inside that.
Discord managed to use it right at that moment in time. So
Okay, so
Did you get an answer?
it answers all of Llewell's senior staff,
Mm-hmm.
Can I
including
do an
Llewell's
insight check?
sister.
Right.
You
My
can,
specialization is reading emotions. That's not going to work here.
it's not putting any emotion into the words at all.
Yes.
it's dead.
It's just yes.
Can I do an insight check?
You can do an
I
insight check.
can sense motives with my insight checks.
Though it's just giving names, so it's not giving any emotion or context. It's just giving names.
Because it's dead.
27.
Basically, when you use the term influence, I could basically block a road and influence everyone going into work that day who got delayed by that blockage.
Yeah, the questions are so broad that they're not gonna.
And it could be the person in particular was influenced by the person from the point of it convinced that person to change what they were doing for the day based on what they were told. So influence can be subjective.
Yeah.
And technically, it would believe it influenced those people. Or it's lying completely and just giving you names for you to mess with you.
Yeah, no, okay, I'm perfectly happy with what I check him up. I don't know what individual or the total, but he's got 2933 on inside for the anchor. People are perfectly happy to believe, but yeah, the entire town has been corrupted. I'm happy that to be an advantage or a disadvantage on that particular role.
I thought the old bastards have got some understanding of how people think and interact
Calcrix
with
is
things.
prepared
What can I
to
roll?
prevent Drachnamar from burning down the entire
Basically,
village.
it's going to be completely up to the player's interpretation, not their character's role.
Yeah.
Because it can be taken in any way.
Yes. Dracula, can I suggest a question? That's Sega asking.
Well, I mean, it's all kind of a question, of course, the way the spell works. Does everybody hear the answer?
Yes.
Yes.
It does? Okay, well, that's good to hear.
Because it's speaking.
If Drachnima, if you're willing to listen to some requests for questions, could you possibly ask how they recognize each other?
Where are they based? If you could ask that at some point, please.
Yeah. Where is their quarters?
It would appear, considering the fact that all the leaders of your town are part of corruption, would appear it's based here.
Excuse me.
If I can find a living blood elf, I can track them.
You can't track them from a dead one.
From the active so far, Martin,
Yep.
does Drachnima feel the creature is lying?
You believe the creature is misleading, but you're not exactly sure how.
Because that spell normally doesn't give you misleading things like that. So this body's been primed.
Oh no, the answers may be brief, cryptic, or repetitive.
Yeah.
It's under no compulsion to offer truthful answers if it has no reason to.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
And at the moment it's being questioned by an enemy of its people.
Yeah. So it's going to be deliberately deceptive as far as it can. Which means if you don't ask really close questions, closed questions, it's going to mess you about.
Well, not if Drachnima happen to accept that the corruption has gone too wide, and therefore everyone's got to learn it.
I've got a really useful feature, but it only works if I ask the question.
Yeah, but Drachnima is only taking that from an answer from something that's potentially going to be deliberately deceptive on an open, wide question where it could be deceptive.
And especially if it knows that you would then, if this blood elf, whatever, knows that you would then burn down the entire village, it might be lying to you
to do that,
to get its way.
Oh yeah.
I think the question you all asked about how do they recognise each other is probably the most useful.
No, I didn't ask that one.
Yeah.
I said, where are you?
I believe it would probably be adding Drachnima to the list of people it's influenced shortly.
Yeah. Like I get that Drachnima has his cultural settings here, but I don't get that Drachnima is. I believe he's got enough intelligence to understand that wisdom that this corpse could indeed be lying through its teeth to him.
And from a GM's perspective, Drachnima would not trust a single word it says unless proven otherwise.
Yeah.
Because of the source of it being literally a servant of the corruptor, and wearing the symbol means he was most likely a priest of the corruptor. And if anyone is going to be able to twist words after death, it's definitely a priest of the corruptor.
Yep. That's why you need to be careful with really close questions.
Okay, I absolutely recognize and agree.
But Drachnima is a little angry.
Drachnima was perfectly serious when saying that you should be following Ilsenburg's example.
What?
So,
burn out all the elves.
Yes.
We're trying, which includes me, you idiot.
As in all the
No, Elsendal
justifies the means.
Elsendal is trying to destroy all the elves.
that's Ixion is trying to destroy.
Ixion's trying to do it. Elsendal's not stopping him.
Elsendal's actually mass migrated his elves.
Yeah, he's told them all bugger off. Right?
It's either move or die.
Anyway.
Yeah. So Elsendal's saying go away, not all die. So that's not what you do to my village.
No, he's not talking this time round.
Yeah, he didn't say
He's
that.
talking the Ilkador's influence had effect when the Black Warriors were involved.
You didn't say that.
I didn't say anything. I just said it was Ilkador's. You keep set the example.
Yeah.
He didn't say which example he was talking about.
Yes, which is useless.
Why does Drachnima care about Ilsindor's example? Shouldn't he be looking more at Atruaghin's example?
No. He's using Ilsindor as the example because he's talking to plural as an elf, as the idea that, hey, Ilsindor thinks it's appropriate to wipe out everyone. I'm just going for a small town.
Except he's not.
Hmm.
He's
We
not.
have 3 questions left.
I've
We
been
could ask.
I've been worshipping Elsindor for a century. I think I'd know.
He's mainly anti-technology,
I know that.
and those who practice it.
Yes.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean killing everyone in a village.
No, it doesn't.
And Calprix doesn't understand how.
Okay, so what is
Sleep is
Drachnima's third question?
Yeah. Okay.
As you find, it also speaks your name at this point.
Oh, fun.
How do you recognise those who have been influenced by the corruptor?
It says by taste.
Oh,
No.
I've got visions of all these shadow elves going around licking each other's ears.
I missed the answer.
He said by taste.
My mate.
At this stage, Calprix is going to leave the wagon. Just needs to.
Question
how
number
do we
4.
recognize blood elves?
Okay. Yep. How do we recognise the blood elves?
It says by taste.
The blood elves are one creature by the corruptor, so.
And you're up to your 5th question. And
Yeah.
it says I can be repeated.
Sort of
with the
being
answers to.
where are your people? Like, where are they located? Where are they based? Like,
In this
where,
village.
when
Where's
they
the local
meet?
group?
Get,
Where's the
get
local
very
group?
detailed. But I'm not there. I've left the wagon, caravan, cart thing. I'm going off to a little spot away from where the confusing people are and counting to
When-
100.
When you believe that your fellow blood elves in this town, where would you meet in order to remain secret and
I'm trying to
safe?
listen.
Wait, before you ask it,
Yeah.
would blood elves, would they think of themselves as enlightened instead of corrupted?
Oh, of course they would.
They are enlightened, yes.
So then maybe word it like that. Where do
The point is, from a Dracula's perspective, it is corruption.
Yes.
No other question or concern about it.
Yes,
You're a bit more crazy.
but then he's
when
not.
we get the answers that we actually want,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to put your views aside for just a second.
You've got to answer it from the point of view of the person of the being you're questioning, not your own. Otherwise, it's not going to be a valid question.
Which is why he's got one answer left.
Yeah.
And which is, we don't want to waste our last question.
I take it back. Calprix has very good hearing. She's walking further away than that.
At this point, I think Saker is sort of looking at Llewell's sister going, will you be able to get more?
Oh, she's sure once she consumes the brain.
We're not going to watch.
I'm so
When you
glad.
meet with your fellow corrupted insurance personnel, get in it.
Could you repeat that, Jeremy?
When you're meeting with those who are corrupted like yourself, where you meet them,
In the mind space.
Do note that before, really early on, it was made quite clear that these people do not consider themselves to be corrupted. That question is not useful.
Mind space could be useful.
you're telling the player this. The character
No, I'm telling the
is
character that.
absolutely single-minded.
I'm telling the character. I don't care if he's not going to understand it. I don't care if he's not going to understand it. That's what I'm telling him.
The character, as Jeremy's trying to explain it, is very obstinate
I
and
know
solid
that.
in his view.
I know that.
You
He's
are not going to
literally
convince
the
I'm gonna say
character from very first creation with hatred of my enemies is blind and unreasoning.
Yeah. That's fine.
He's literally part of the character.
Yes.
And yeah, okay, he's coming out of that question saying, okay, well, obviously, whilst the word cannot be trusted in detail, there's no reason to disbelieve the names that he provided.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. There's all the reason in the world to just, and they're my people, and you're not touching them.
We're gonna hit a
all the
TV
reason in the world to
today.
distrust everything it said. We have all the reason in the world to distrust everything it said.
At this point, I think the best option is to give the letter to Methanol?
Methanol. Yes.
I don't know that that's necessarily a good idea, but I am no longer in the car.
And I, myself and some other people, if we want, can go and talk to the people and see if there's been disappearances. I do think in the mind space is a reasonable clue. I don't know how to access or tap into that mind space, but it is something that I think is worthwhile thinking about.
And Seeker does recognize the voice of Llewell's younger brother.
As in, have seen before, have met before?
Not seen before, but heard before. You sure he would, last time you spoke to him, was wearing a different form?
Mm-hmm.
I'll sidle up to him and say, hey, do you want to find out, do you want to go hunting with me?
Again, sure, he says.
Jack also very concerned, and he took terrible note of the aspect of, after telling the fact that the blood elves could be detected by taste, that the way that this other elf was planning on questioning the creature further was by eating the brains.
Yeah, and? Taste and eating brains are two different things. They just both involve the tongue.
You know, a lot of her necromancy is all about consumption.
Yes. It's icky. But we've got a war on.
Yeah, against the corruptor.
Yes, against the corruptor. And you just gave a being of the corruptor some really open questions and had answered it however they felt like.
Well, answered as expected, really.
Given that you answered it, gave it really open questions that it could misinterpret however it liked, yeah.
Now, from what I saw, or what I felt, it never actually lied.
Oh, it lied?
It aimed to misdirect, but it never actually lied.
You might want to point out it gave Drachnima's name as one of the corrupted.
Note that one of the corrupted that it listed was you.
Yeah. No, that was asking for the next question. That was a name given to the, we was asking me, it's the questioner.
You asked it for a list of the names?
No, he was adding you to the list of those people.
Yes.
I certainly understand that in plain, that's actually what happened, but Drachnima's name got added quite some time after the original list of names.
Yes, but it was still added.
It came up, and Drachnima was asking the next question, so Drachnima interpreted it as your repetition and waiting for the next
I want
question.
to just clarify with the GM. At what point was Drachnima's name given? Was it given as part of the answer to the first question?
Part of the answer of the second question before he got the third question out.
Yeah, that would be, yeah. So I just wanted to clarify at what point.
And Drachnima would also know that Drachnima would also know the creature would, the body would not be able to request a question from him or give a response that's not part of a question.
Yeah.
But there was significant time difference between naming the lord of the power and then adding Drachnima's name. Was there not?
There was a pause, yes.
Yeah. I'll make a point that because of the way the question was asked, if any member of this person's group spoke to any of those people at any time, after they got here, given that question, this body could interpret that as has been influenced by.
And technically, Drachdamar has been influenced by this body.
Yes.
Yeah.
By responding to its answers, by asking different questions.
And
You didn't ask for the amount of influence. You didn't ask for the amount of influence.
Calprix is
No.
Right?
going to find a clearing
Yeah.
and start a tea ritual.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
Can you do a cup of coffee as well?
if Father Pat follows her, she will add coffee to that.
Yes.
She's picking a very specific tea,
Mhm.
which you can come back to whenever you want, and when you feel the role placing is timing is good.
Okay. So it'll probably take you about 10 minutes to do the ritual, but it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
And the others have many discussions by the time they reach town with the cart, and your ritual will have finished by then.
Well,
It's only 10 minutes out.
She's actually doing something very purposeful. She's picking out the tea that she makes for the Dragonborn,
Mm-hmm.
and she's putting her little god people up on her little shrine
Mm-hmm.
because she would like some advice.
Okay.
Right.
Give me a religion roll.
No, the cat's stolen my dice.
That's what they're for, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yes.
Is it on the floor? No, that's not on the floor. Oh, there it is. It's under the books. Of course it's under the books. Oh, crap. I can't roll this thing up. So I've got to sit up straight so it's not awkward. Yeah, that's pretty good. Natural 20.
Uh-huh.
So we're doing okay.
So which god were you trying to get?
She actually wants to talk to Atruaghin.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, you have the sounds of drums and chanting as you find yourself sitting in a what appears to be a large hut in the sky somewhere. You think it's in the sky because looking down you see stars, looking up you see stars, looking out you see stars, but looking forward you see a bonfire with a large chief behind it with his resplendent headdress.
Cool.
Calprix passes over to him first a little dragonborn formed out of twigs and leaves and things, but it's actually, for its simpleness, very intricately detailed. And she says, "Please accept my offering for our first meeting."
He hands you a glowing pipe.
Oh, I've never smoked a pipe before. Is this legal for a 12-year-old?
He says it's fine. It's not affecting your body in any way.
He's the law here, so
Calprix will adopt a suitably solemn pose and cut on tight.
Okay, give me a Constitution saving throw.
your brain goes sparkly.
Oh, 12. What's my constitution?
I think it's +6.
+6.
I'm not sure if it's one of your
It's one of the tricky
saving
ones.
throws.
I
One of
don't
your-
know. I think constitution's like one of my weakest things. But I don't know if I've got my stat sheet handy because everything goes for a little bit of a walkabout in the 2 weeks between games. No matter how much I try to put it together.
I know it's +7 at least. I'm not sure if it's one
I
of
think
your...
it's +6, which is why I wanted to check.
Well, I've got it here as +7.
Okay, well if it's +7, then 12 + 7 is what, 19?
19, yeah.
So, yeah, 19.
Okay, so it makes everything start to be sharper and clearer
Well, this is nice.
until you realize you haven't actually exhaled, and that it starts to get overly bright and overly sharp. Then painfully bright and painfully sharp.
I'm going to need my headache tea after this.
And then you finally exhale and it comes back down again.
Okay,
But hey, at least you know that will help you concentrate.
I'm going to practice doing smoke rings at a later stage because I respect the god.
And he does say, and what has brought you here before me, little dragon?
I'm trying to understand my friend better.
Which one?
Dracna.
Oh, so not the evil plant thing.
That is a long-term project that will take probably all my lifetime, if not. I
Several
still
lifetimes.
probably won't.
He said many prayers from Dracnamar about it.
Well, I tried to explain to Eve to not try to force feed Dracnamar the cookies, that he's not going to be corrupted by Exantiotl. But Eve worries for all of the party because Eve tries to protect them. And so I know Eve means well, but Eve
He
is a
has
little
no
bit
beef with
simplified.
Nick, so he has no beef with Eep.
I will eventually get the explanation at least clearer to her. But my main concern is that I want to be able to handle this situation better, and I don't know how.
Maybe you should get him to let go of his misgivings and frustrations of his old life.
How does one help a friend do that, though?
Conversation starts. Offer him a peace pipe.
I see.
A good sized piece of branch.
I can do that. I can. What kind of things go in a peace pipe?
Well, various herbs, and I'm sure you have many halfling friends who can advise on suitable stuff to make someone relax and calm down.
I do. Will Dracnamar actually use them, though? He doesn't eat the cookies.
Well,
Peace pipe.
a peace pipe is part of his belief,
Oh, okay.
especially if it's said it's a peace pipe.
Is there a ritual I should be following?
Normally it's a timeout with no beating things up. He's right, he's sort of wording things in Calcrick's words.
Yes.
Yeah. If I do not have a peace pipe, can it just be any pipe made in like that can?
A peace pipe is a pipe used for religious services.
So I might be able to find one at a temple. Or
You can find one, make one, buy one.
I might try to make one.
And as long as you reserve it for religious ceremonies, then it remains a peace pipe. If you use it for recreation, it is no longer one.
So make two.
So yeah, make two. Exist. I'm not inclined to smoke outside of religious ceremonies. And if I were to conduct these religious ceremonies for myself, to help free myself from certain things from my past, like goblins. Goblins are really nasty. But not all goblins are nasty. So I should probably not want to kill all the goblins because some were nasty to me at one point. But I still want to kill all the goblins. Would a peace pipe help with that?
It would help you figure out if your current situation, you need to hold on to what has happened in the past.
I understand that.
Sometimes you still need to hold on because he still cannot forgive Exantiotl for what Exantiotl has done.
I can't forgive Exantiotl, and he hasn't done anything to me.
He has done plenty to you. He is the reason the goblins tortured you in the first place.
I did not know that. I thought I just didn't like him because he hurt a lot of people I knew.
He basically eggs people on to treat others worse.
Well, that was why I did not like him at all. Would you like a cookie?
He laughs and says, "Sure."
I'll give him a cookie. Thank you very much for your advice. I think it will be helpful. I do not want to clash with my friend. I want to do what he wants to do and respect what he says.
And the best way to support him is ask him to think about what he does and make sure it's what he needs to do, not what he wants to do.
His responsibilities.
Need over want is completely different.
You're wise, but that is why I wanted to speak with you.
Well, he tries to instruct the Great One the same way.
Does he listen?
Mostly. He really likes the pipe, though.
I'm guessing for recreational reasons rather than.
Well, I
just
reserve it for discussions.
Yeah.
So he'll listen as long as he gets to use the pipe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might try that too. I think I'm going to need 2 pipes after all.
It's like having a discussion over carver.
Now I just have to figure out how to make one quickly.
He hands you one.
Oh, a real pipe?
It will be there when you wake up.
What does it look like?
It looks like a wise chief styled after Draknamar, but looking older and wiser.
That's awesome. I love it. I thank him again and wish I could offer him more than just this tea.
He likes the gift you gave. It is suitable.
I thought so. It is based off my brother Drazen.
And then you find yourself sitting in the clearing with Father Pat waiting for his coffee.
I will make Father Pat his coffee.
What's that you got? He says, look at the pipes.
And then
there
I
just
will
before.
sit down to look at my pipe and consider what herbs I should put together in a mix to make use of it. And then I remembered that Yodri has given me a pouch of herbs to help me relax. And I figure this might be what he meant when he gave me these herbs. I didn't know what to do with, because when I put them in a tea, they tasted awful. And I'll put some of those herbs aside to go with the pipe.
Okay.
Yes.
So Father Pat gets a rather late but nice coffee.
Thank you.
The wait was worth it.
Once we consume the coffee, we will go find our friends.
Can I ask Martin?
Yep.
You said I recognize Emerald's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know, do I have a particular... I'm assuming he's seen me in my Sega form. So I'm assuming we did a job together or something.
You recognize him as someone who worked with the troop, one of the child elves who travelled.
Okay.
He would come and go over many points of the tour.
So he might actually recognize the different forms.
There's a good chance he does, because you do remember spending an awful lot of time with him.
Excellent.
Very charming.
What time of day is it?
Getting on to sunset now.
Uh,
And he always did talk about his older siblings and his younger sister. Is he the youngest? Or
No,
are they all
he's
older?
the youngest.
Okay, he's talking
So-
about all his older siblings.
Yeah, the 2 sisters are the 2 elder ones. There's the eldest and the elder, and then there's me, and then there's him.
Can I suggest to him that he brings his, what's he playing?
He is playing a mix between a mandolin and something you've never seen.
May I suggest he brings his mandolin and we'll go to a local inn and converse, and maybe he can, play a couple of songs to get people to think about those they are missing,
You do
and I
know.
can work the crowd.
You do note it has more strings than you're used to.
Yes, my stepfather.
I'll be
had
asking you
something
about
like
that later.
Yeah, my stepfather
I
had
could-
something like that. It was a banjolin.
I could bring,
Yeah. Sorry,
if
Kate.
he wants to do a duet, I can bring my violin out.
He says it's been a while since we've done that, but that would be great.
Cool. Well, that's my plan for the evening.
Cool.
Okay, so by the time you guys reach the trees, you can hear music playing up in the trees above.
Cool.
More mocking music of Llewell's past.
Thank you, Morale.
And you hear it, "You're welcome!"
I've heard this one before. I join in on the song just because it's amusing.
And it's catchy.
I know. He's bloody good at it. It's infuriating. On the other hand, I've got a very, very good singing voice, which he has not heard very much of, because I only learnt that like a few levels ago.
Okay, so I will let you have a figure out what you're going to do next while I duck to the bathroom.
Well, Calcrix knows what she's doing next.
Well, you can talk to Dracomar about it.
Yes.
Well, she's gonna go and find Dracomar and offer him a peace pipe. Tell him to chill, dude. No, not quite that.
I can't feel that the Immortals are the corruptly so close.
Yes, we still have to root out the Blood Elves.
Yes, we will. And I think one of the first things to do is very similar to what Seika is doing, which is we need to get more information before we act.
Yes, which is why I'm going to talk to my people, particularly the town leaders, as well as my own staff, especially the innkeeper. Because the innkeeper is very specific.
So you're going to come and listen to some of our music?
Oh yeah, and invite you to come along to the inn because they're going to really like it.
I think Immortal and I are already heading that way.
I would say you probably are. I'm going to leave that go.
Okay, so did Dracomar and Calcrix catch up?
Well, we didn't roleplay it. I was going to head towards Dracomar and see if I could persuade him to take a moment to reflect instead of dashing out, since the rest are gathering other information. That's Calcrix will try and track him down, and first of all she's going to say show him her pipe and say, I have had a gift from Exantiotl.
wrong god.
Not Exantiotl. Sorry, I'm a
Atruaghin, she says.
Atruaghin, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I really need my brain to hurt less. Yeah, so she presents and says, I had a gift for Atruaghin. And he also gave me some wisdom about how reflection can actually lead you to your goals in a more effective way. And he suggested that you and I share this pipe together, and this is one of the reasons why I was gifted it. And I have some herbs as well that are actually suited to this pipe. So I think we're kind of the gods have put everything in place for us to at least share this moment of reflection.
And you have a feeling that saffron added to it will help.
I've got lots of saffron.
I have some interesting herbs if you want to play with them.
I at the moment, I would say that if you're at the inn and I track down Dracomar, but I'll take you up on that later.
Yes, although, yes. My sister, despite being a part-time necromancer, is also a gardener, and she has some interesting herbs.
I'm not sure. I think it's a good thing that I haven't crossed your path before coming to Dracomar, because I think if I gave him herbs that were sourced from your sister, he just might burn down your village.
That would be a good interpretation if he knew about it, I'm sure.
Calcrix may only be 12, but she's wise.
And from Dracomar's perspective, the pipe is carved in the likeness of his late father.
Ooh.
Now, was this pipe meant as a gift for Dracomar, or
Gift
meant as
for
a
Calcrix.
gift for Calcrix to use?
As a way to get Dracomar to actually pay attention.
No, that's right. I mean, because certainly the initial point that he put it, why would a curator be talking to you rather than me?
I explained.
But this is the sort of thought process is going through that in his mind. So when he sees the pipe and thinking, hang on, would that really be a good one for a curator? And then recognizing that, hang on, there's not much way that Calvert could have developed a pipe with that symbology on it.
Caltrix also explains to you that she was trying to think of how she could relate to you better, and she had actually been preparing this tea ceremony for quite some time. She always wanted to talk to Atruaghin, and she wants to meet all the gods of her party.
No, but there's not, like I say, Dracula doesn't verbalise any concerns about why he was put, why you were talking to her before him.
That's fine. Calcrix tells you anyway. Sorry.
Yeah. And so, well.
There's the big divide between Calcrix and Drachnema is that Drachnema will say 2 words when 5 words are needed, and Calcrix will use 1,000 words when 2 words are needed. So you get the full explanation in the story of, I went out into the forest and I've been planning this tea ceremony. I collected this tea from Drazzle because I knew that Dragonborn had this certain tea that they used when they were relaxing, and then I made this little Dragonborn, and it took me X how many days and months, and I had to find the parts from this part and this part, and while I was in that forest, dive down another hole. She literally ADHD outs on you, and you're just sitting there going, what's this pipe? And then you just start looking at the pipe, is my guess. You're ignoring all the dribble that's coming out of Calcrix's mouth, and you're just looking at the pipe now.
Excellent. Dracula was certainly happy to take the opportunity of something that would appear to have certainly come from Atruaghin.
Well, it even has the proper shamanic feathers for the priests of Atruaghin attached to it. Not something you can accidentally do.
No, that's right. That's okay. That's actually still a situation on the fact that, Calcrix dribbled on for ages, and the answer to the unstated question that did come out of that dribble was, where did you get this from? So you got it from Atruaghin? Seems to like it from Atruaghin.
That's kind of, that's pretty much it. I have a feeling that Drachnema's thinking in the background of, why does Calcrix get this really honourable gift? she just wants
she's
to
good
shut
at
up.
Well, hey, the peace pipe has many meanings. While she's having the peace pipe, she's not talking.
Exactly. I was going to say, at least if you do the peace pipe with her, she might actually be quiet for a time.
And yes, but certainly Dracula is happy to accept the peace pipe on the understanding of an offering. Assuming Eve is not actually in the vicinity right now?
No, she's left Eve in the
Anywhere else?
I was going to say protecting Father Pat, because that's who she was last with. And told Father Pat.
Dracula will accept the peace pipe and partake of the ceremony in order to reaffirm peace between Calcrix and Dracula after the conflict caused by Eve.
And Calcrix is very interested for you to show her how the ceremony works, even if it's just stuff in the pipe and lighting it up. She's never done it before, so she's paying attention.
Yep.
As you do so, you start to see runes in the room around you.
Oh.
Do we recognize the runes?
They are definitely not natural and generally put in out-of-the-way places.
So these the hidden rune thing that I've got, illusory script?
Along those lines.
God, I
yes.
hate that.
When you're saying in runes, you're talking about the effect of the mine escape caused by the peace pipe, it's literally the mine being opened up and we're actually seeing physical runes around the area we're located. Is that what you mean?
That is
Yes.
correct.
Yeah, okay. So,
You do
Sorry,
see
yeah.
Calcrix as a shining metallic dragon instead of the dull-coloured one you're used to seeing.
shiny metallic or one metallic?
Multicoloured metallic.
Yeah, still multicolored, yeah.
Silver where the white is, shiny metallic black where the black is, and sapphires where the blue is.
Blue,
shiny,
not
shiny.
sapphire. Yeah.
Okay.
You're not quite a gemstone dragon.
No, not
No.
gemstone, sapphire.
That's where it says metallic
sapphire
blue.
Yeah.
as in the colour sapphire blue.
Yeah.
A bright blue.
So, radiant blue.
Yeah, there you go. That's
Better word.
Yeah. I just couldn't think of another blue to
Um,
describe.
Well, Dracula will stand up, or at least he'll like eventually just standing up, or he'll probably still sitting around the piece like that. To examine the rooms that are currently located in the township and that apparently corrupted by the Oracle. So have a close look at these rooms.
They seem to be written in ancient Atruaghin language,
Okay.
and generally referencing dates and times.
Calcrix is going to, if not in real, pull out her journal. And,
Take notes.
And make
Copy
notes
it all.
and.
Calcrix
sketches.
recognizes it as true sight.
I still make a record.
Father Pat's enjoying his coffee.
Exactly. Yeah.
And each
Because this is all way up there.
it gives you a cookie to
The
dip in your
gate
coffee.
references in these rooms, do they mean anything specific to Dracula or his knowledge of history?
They
Or
are
future?
related to moons and seasons, which is roughly how the Atruaghin learnt to tell time.
Yeah.
They don't really care about specific day numbers, just moon positions and season.
Considering all my star mapping, would I have some idea of what they mean?
You understand, but you don't understand the language well,
Okay.
because it is basically Aztec, which is what the Atruaghin are descendants of.
I have to get.
It's not even Old Tech, so it is. You do recognize it as the Aztec language, the root language of where the Old Tech went to, which the Atruaghin are descendants of.
Yes.
So they stopped carving it as of the Atruaghin people starting, but they have written it occasionally.
Yeah.
Drachnamar does understand it. Yeah. So I will look to him for explanation.
Which
He
he
may not
does.
be getting the full interpretation because it's a language that is predates his knowledge of it, but he's certainly picking up bits and pieces here and there. So,
But you do recognize it as the language of the Blood Elves.
yeah. Dracula will aim to recognizing that these are not just ruins that have come out of the effect of the peace pipe itself, but were actually here just being revealed by the peace pipe. Dracula will actually aim to try and put a mark or a drawing, a circle, whatever type stuff around the room on the wall.
Well,
In the-
Calcrix is documenting exactly where they are and what they are.
well, that's
So
fine.
that we can find them again.
You're doing no documentation and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But and with the influence of recognition of these blood elf runes, he probably likely get distracted from the original idea of the peace pipe with Calcric, and in fact aim to keep moving and walking out beyond the original scope to see if these runes are visible outside of this room, and B, basically make a recording or marking on as many as he can see around the area.
Well, as you walk away from Calcrix and the pipe, the runes start to fade and disappear.
Okay. Well, then we'll be continuing to say, come on, Calcrix, come this way. We should investigate.
Well, aside from the fact that she's tried to explain that this is like true sight, she'll follow along with Drachnamar.
And from the perspective
she
of
kind
the
of
other
sighs and
characters,
goes,
there are two
"Eh."
high characters walking through town. One a dragon, one a tribesman. And they're marking various parts of the wall here and there.
Well, Drachnamar is. Calcrix is just making notes in her book. Hopefully she can read them later.
They're obviously doing interesting
Dracula
things
will,
with this pipe.
Dracula will explain if Calcrix has not been aware of the fact that yes, these are markings of the blood elf, and indications or recognition of their meeting and influence within this town. So that's why Dracula is definitely interested.
Okay, so from your investigations, you make about 3 different styles, and dating it about 3 to 4 months ago as starting.
So when you say 3 different styles, does that mean like 3 different types of handwriting, as in 3 different people?
Yeah.
And then, so 3 different people at least communicating in this language 3 to 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say it's like true sight, do you mean to say that once we are no longer using the peace pipe, if Calcrix uses the true sight spell for 4 hours, we can walk around town and find these actual runes?
Potentially.
Depending whether or
Now,
not...
that's certainly...
Yeah.
That's certainly what Dracula is thinking on the idea of providing a physical marking around the room.
Yeah.
But then you come to the, okay, look at this location more closely.
Yep.
When maybe not of the influence of peace pipe.
I'm just a little bit worried that said blood elves, the other 2 might see your circles and they might skip town.
Or
But
move the circle.
That would be the smart way to go. Move the
Which
circle
is-
and then laugh.
So we go crashing into a building going, oops,
Well,
sorry, wrong building.
That's the Cropter's way of doing things.
Exactly.
which is why I've made notes in my book, and hopefully I can.
And most of the Atruaghin practices do reveal hidden truths.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the Atruaghin belief.
Yeah.
Not necessarily knowledge you can't gain, just knowledge that is there that you haven't paid attention to.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I could try to mimic one of them with illusory script,
Yeah.
but I'd have to know a whole lot more before I could do that.
And the place that has the most markings is the room below Llewell's personal quarters.
Oh, great.
Whose room is that?
Where his sister lived.
It's a storeroom
Yeah.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
for all stuff that goes into Llewell's room.
So while the 2 high people
Back to your
wandering
staff
around
again.
around the town,
Well, he was a
what's
servant
going on in the inn?
in my staff, so
A roaring good
He's got
time
full
as
access
people
to it.
are singing and dancing along to stories of
There he
Llewell's youth.
Therian's
But-
checking out the front door.
I believe Seiko was trying to make the songs elicit people thinking about people they might be missing.
Mm-hmm.
Does that work?
So I would say that at this time, Seika might come up on stage with excuse me, I have to remember this name really, Immortal, and join him in his performance and maybe shift the songs. Now that we've got everybody's attention, shift the songs to more of a theme around missing people, lost, those who are lost, so on and so forth.
Nice.
And he switches to a very heartbreaking tale of being lost and alone and unloved. And
They're loved. They're missing.
My family didn't.
and the way
That's why I
people
haven't grown up.
feel when they're trapped and see no way out.
I'm so glad I'm getting high somewhere else.
This is a very sad place to be.
And he has half the
A bit of sweet. You're gonna have some shade with the light.
he has the entire tavern crying into their drinks.
While I
I'm
recognise
fine
that
as
as
well.
being true,
Yeah. Shade gives the light structure.
I'm still happy to be high. I believe, while you might be playing as well, Lua's brother doesn't leave any room for sharing the limelight.
Oh, he doesn't mind sharing because he's more than happy to give other people credit for his work.
He's played with me before.
Given some of the songs that he sings, oh yeah, he wants to do that sometimes. He sells.
While we're
scandalous
playing, I'm
stuff.
watching the audience and watching around to see the reactions of people.
Everyone is shocked at how much they're all crying into their drinks.
Can I try reading emotions for anyone that this hits home particularly for, or somebody who seems to be maybe slightly enjoying the sadness or a little bit smug? Or
Mostly,
anybody who seems to be focused on me and me alone?
everyone here seems to be crying into their drinks with that. And you're reminded of the fact that a majority of them lost their homes before they came here.
Mm-hmm.
They may have lost all their family. They've lost their status. They've had to restart and rebuild.
Basically, everyone here is a refugee to some extent or another.
So he's gone
It's
and
true.
the equivalent of perched the sore spot of the entire town.
Trying to think of a better way of doing this.
And about the only people who would not feel homesick at this stage would be the Blood Elves because, home is not really a place they like being.
No. You could
So,
suggest to him
my-
a change of subject.
My insight specialization is reading emotions. Can I read the emotions of the crowd and look for people who aren't being truly affected in this way?
You don't know anyone here who doesn't seem to be affected, but you do know that there are still people working and that it's not the entire town in the inn.
And nobody seems to, like, you know how at the end of last session you were saying there were some particular people in the town who were paying attention to me?
None of them seem to be here, but they may be planning stuff elsewhere because, hey, if they really are Blood Elves, there's a good chance they would avoid the inn in the sense of they don't understand revelry very well.
True.
Their entire culture is based around protecting themselves and not being caught out.
Yeah. Which is a way of
Okay.
catching them out, so yeah.
So when the song finishes, I might tap Emerald on the Emerald on the shoulder and tell him to lift the moon again. And then I'm gonna sort of wander around and try to strike up some conversations with people. Maybe try to find some gossip around missing people, animals, things that have disappeared.
And you start singing a song of toss a coin to your friend and let them know your
I was
secrets.
going to say, toss a
Oh,
coin
God.
to your wizard.
Love it.
Where have I heard that in?
Hey, Hey, if I can earn some cash
in
on
The
this,
Witcher.
I'm not complaining.
That's right.
It's
Yeah.
also according to your Witcher, is there?
Yeah. I had to think we're right.
And basically, you start hearing everyone starting to spill their secrets without knowing why.
Oh.
Okay, what do I hear?
What do you say?
A lot of very interesting things. Give me a will saving throw.
There we are.
Wisdom saving throw.
Come on.
Shit. Okay,
What's up?
Oh, you got.
is this a charm? Is this something I might have advantage against?
It is a compulsion, not a charm.
Okay, 22.
22. Okay, you find yourself actually saying secrets about your life
Oh dear.
to the people you're
Oh,
talking to.
22.
Yes.
He's good.
He's very good.
Yeah.
He's a lot better than you remember. He's been practicing.
I might glare at him.
He gives you a wink.
And he's singing it, so he's not giving anything away. You should join the singing.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if anyone's actually listening to me or not. Because I'm full of secrets.
You see, there's
I
a lot.
suspect that he is.
You see, a lot of people giving out such as, "Hey, I stole that from you earlier," to "I slept with your wife," to "I really wish you hadn't come to my party," to things as simple as "I really love you."
What about I'm a blood elf?
That doesn't seem to come out there.
Remember, they're not into revelry. They're not here.
And also,
Oh, no, I'm not going to play. Sorry, no, that wasn't,
Yeah.
that wasn't, you know.
trying to see if I can stop myself from spilling any more secrets. I probably, if I have any control over the secrets I'm giving, they're probably minor things like my fun heist rather than anything else.
Okay, so you find yourself blabbing a bit about breaking into places and stealing stuff.
Uh-huh.
And you notice
Currently
that
trying to figure out if I can stop this.
it seems to go on for about a full 10 minutes. He plays a long song, as just about everyone else in the bar has given out a ton of secrets themselves. To your advantage, most people were trying to talk over you.
Excellent.
Secrets.
I might join him on stage again just to get away from this and play one of the more popular ditties we used to play in the troupe.
Okay, he starts playing one that gets everyone up and dancing.
Excellent. At the end of this song, I might go, let him just keep doing what he wants to do, and I might go to the innkeeper and see if he has any gossip. Particularly about the stuff that I was saying about missing people or missing animals or missing things or...
He does give a break for the music so people can actually sit down and relax because it was a compulsion to get up and dance.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I keep shooting daggers at him, and maybe I gesture for him to join me at the bar for a rest.
well, he is quite good at compelling people.
I figure.
You do remember him to be able to talk anyone into about anything.
I might say to him when he joins me, so, learned a few things, have you?
Time teaches everything, he says.
It sure does. Try to,
He says, plus your secrets were interesting. I was there for some of them, but hey, I wasn't there for all of them.
Did I trust him?
Yes and no. You trusted him to help you through any of the messes you were on, but you never trusted him to stay around.
So he probably doesn't know my heritage. He probably just knows that, like, I'm trying to figure out how he would explain my different forms.
He was known to the leaders of the circus, but they never told you why.
Okay, so he might actually know about us.
He was always welcomed into the circus, no matter when he showed up or why.
Okay.
And
So,
sometimes he
might
was
know.
being chased by a very angry crowd of parents.
Yes.
You know I have a lot of secrets. Let's keep the compulsion of those to a minimum. I'm happy to do some things, but not everybody needs to know them.
Yes, well, he's traded his secrets and letting them free.
I much prefer to keep some of mine
At
very
interesting
deep,
ti-
deep.
Well, he picks interesting times for them. That's the fun bit.
Like weddings.
Stand
Well,
up and
let's
think we
hope
should
neither of
not
us
be
have any of
married. We should
those
not be
anytime soon.
married.
So,
Oh, it's more things like, oh, let's roast the groom. Yes.
And as everyone gets up to speak, just play the music so they just let out the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
what we're here for is to try and find out if knowing blood bills are all about sacrifice. If there's anything or anyone gone missing lately, so we can try and track down where these elves might be operating. Do you think you could help me with that? Your trips seem to have gained.
He winks at you and says, he's had a bit of experience with blood elves, having actually been in the Hollow World. Have you been down there? It's a fantastic place where the sun never sets. It's always midday.
At some point.
So how do you have a bar night?
Not many people have made it down there.
Undercover.
It's
Maybe you'll have to take me at some time.
yes, that would be a good journey, though. You definitely want to avoid the Blood Elf section. They only ever celebrate when someone's about to be killed.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. There were some that I think were also will pay awfully close attention to me, and I'd like to live a bit longer. I am quite young. About the same age as you.
Yeah, he says, you do look a bit older, but hey, looks aren't everything, he says.
You never seemed to object to that before.
He likes some more than he
Too much
says.
information.
Or not enough, possibly. Is there a wedding in our future, or are you two just having fun?
He just likes to flirt
I'm
with
always up for a
everyone.
bit of fun.
Well, and also, it's elves. It's always go for something interesting.
And different and exciting.
Yes.
And if,
And basically against his people's belief.
well, that too. There has
and if Emerald actually knows what I am, I'm definitely something interesting.
Oh yeah. 4 girlfriends in one. Cool.
5.
What?
5.
5.
And 5. Yeah.
5 elements.
There has been some very very good commentary about elves live a long time. If they're not bi, there's something weird.
Cool. So, does the world ever come to the inn?
Oh yeah, okay.
You walk in seeing your younger brother chatting up Seeker.
Who was responding in kind?
You're
Well-
not surprised.
I'm 100% entirely unsurprised.
And the entire inn looking at the two of them with the shocked look of what the hell's just happened. Shell shocked.
He's been
Could we gesture over for the barkeep and try to get some information?
Would you like to take that one home?
Thank you.
He hands over a couple of bottles of wine, saying, on the house, paid for by the guests.
Nice.
Very appreciated. Thank you very much.
Nice work, you two.
Are they good bottles of wine or?
Hard to tell because you're not sure of the vintage.
Can we get a couple of glasses? Say, I noticed we'll all come in, so I would say,
Yeah.
say 3.
Yes. The innkeeper, by the way, is a human. Woman by the name of Marigold.
I remember that from last session. and we were introduced to her.
Mm. Yes, I will have introduced you to all of the major people as who went around.
So I'll say, actually, let's make it 4 glasses. And pour one for her as well.
If you insist, she says, sitting down and looking very comfortable. That song effect was a bit interesting.
Yes. Not my favourite of his, but, you know, it's always a bit of fun.
Well, your little brother goes, well, practice makes perfect.
I'm moderately surprised that you haven't been successfully lynched at least twice.
Got to find me first.
That's very true. Yes, I do know that you are very practiced at making sure you've always got an escape route.
And they've got to know what I look like.
Hats of disguise, so very, very useful.
Well, that will require me to actually remember to bring an item along, he says.
Or having the ability to duplicate the effect.
Your change is like a new day, he says.
Mm-hmm. Yes, one of my followers is a bard of the same training background as yourself. I've got a reasonable idea of capabilities. Of course, I know you. I've got a good idea of capabilities.
Why do you think you used to play in all your events?
Because it was funny.
That's the only reason, he says.
Hmm.
I'm going to have to get some more of those stories.
Well, not was the case, maybe.
That's okay, he's written most of them down.
Excellent. So, we have a job. Who's the best to talk to, Luell?
For the local blood elves, first person to talk to is my lawkeeper, because they'll know.
No, your brother says he'd speak to whoever does the butchery around here.
That's a good start.
They always like blood. Not just their men.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's...
And those who smell of iron.
Right. We don't have an actual slaughterhouse. This place isn't that big. But... There is an approximate equivalent next to the...
If not a slaughterhouse in the kitchen.
Well, the biggest actual kitchen is the one in this building. It's attached to the inn. Or it's part of the inn.
Which would make a great place for them to add a little additive here and there.
Yes, it would. Let us go check things out.
Martin,
Yep.
would I remember some of the features of the people who were paying a little too close attention to me last session?
Mainly that just you had a feeling of wrongness because most people don't pay you attention at all. They sort of skip over you.
Mm.
Part of your
So
heritage is people generally don't focus.
So I wouldn't be able to describe any features of them to Luell or Marigold or...
Well, every time you looked in their direction, they would look away.
No.
So you'd remember hair more than you would features.
Oh.
But nothing particularly stands out, like nothing noticeable about the hair or the figure or their clothes or...
It always seemed much like everyone else around them.
Okay.
People who purposely dress not to stand out.
Yeah, makes sense.
Something you're used to doing.
And
Very true.
And considering this place is largely attempting to keep its head down despite being a trading town, most people dress like that. They're out in the woods trying not to be seen a lot.
Okay, well, if we're going into the kitchen, I'm going to spend a minute focusing on in the kitchen and studying the place and use my feat sense for secrets.
Mm-hmm. And what does it tell you?
Sense for secrets. It's one of my tricks. Gain an expertise dice on any investigation checks. I have a sense for finding hidden things. I can spend a minute observing an area. If there are tricks, traps, secret doors, or other unusual features of non-magical nature within 30 feet of you, or at an unobscured surface you can see, something nearby is worth investigating, but not what or where it is.
Okay.
I can't use it twice in the same area, but I can use it in different areas.
Give me an investigation roll then with your feat.
Mm-hmm. Getting somewhere?
16 plus 10, 26.
Okay, so you do note some unusual knives in there. And you recognize knives that 10 knives would normally carry from the other group.
I would have met 10 knives or know of him.
We've told you about him at length.
And you recognize that these knives are for carving people, not animals.
Yeah. And they're not combat knives.
No.
They're for torture and slaughter. Or torture and ritual.
More for carving people for eating than for actual torture or slaughter.
So, Noel, do you have a halfling chef
Yeah.
in the inn?
I can get them here in
And
no time at all.
Other thing you note of them is the blades are made out of obsidian, which the halflings don't use.
Yeah. That's a big one.
I will point those out to Noel and
Yeah. Actually, give me a sec. I'll poke my head
Morale.
out. Call out, Polo!
You hear from a distance, coming, Marco.
You never get tired of that one, do you?
Says, why would I?
I don't even know who this Polo Marco is.
Oh, it's just a saying we have, he says.
Oh, fair enough.
It helps everyone know we're coming.
She said. Right, yeah.
So, I
She rocks
point out the carving knives for people, obsidian knives to Noel. These might be a fairly good indicator.
That is an extremely good indicator. And Polo's definitely want to know about this one. And she can tell us more about it.
Oh, she starts talking about how these knives are specific for humans and these ones are for elves.
Yes. Well,
And these ones are for dwarves.
halfling, cook, druid. She's used to working with stone knives.
Yes, but not obsidian.
Not necessarily obsidian. No.
So, Paul, are these yours?
No, she doesn't work with obsidian at all, partly because it's a black stone and generally used by those who follow entropy. She
Also-
normally uses stones that are more colourful, or she prefers jade stones over obsidian.
Yeah, or chert, which is grey, or pale grey. Although similar to...
Well, jade is her preference, partly because
Well, yeah,
of
it's pretty.
belief.
Yeah. The other thing is, as far as I can see from these are sized for elf hands, not halfling hands.
But she does look at them and go, yep, they are sized for overly large hands, she says.
Would you know who would work in the kitchen?
Yeah. Someone who's read
Yeah.
too many of her cookbooks, she saw.
So, well, would Marigold know? Well,
Marigold does say, if you ask her, says that one of the kitchen staff for your residence works here.
Right. Name, please.
It gives you the name. It seems very odd as a... It's sort of like a John Smith for elves.
Off my feet
Yeah.
on the bench.
Because there was at least
Basically, you don't actually meet anyone who has a name like that.
Yes. Yes. By the way, are you Seeker at the moment?
yes.
Seeker, Marigold, you're in the same line of business. You can talk later.
Lovely to meet you.
She says your secrets were juicy.
Not the juiciest ones I could produce.
So far, she says.
So could we get a description of, or have you seen this person hanging around with others? Anything seemed off?
Well, they have a partner that they support,
Mm-hmm.
who normally works out on the outer perimeter guard.
Which, yeah.
And normally talks to Llewell's older sister.
Right. That is.
Didn't look like, because I'm wondering if he's the one we just killed.
He
Should
is
I say that bit to Marigold?
neither of them were the ones you just killed.
Okay, cool.
But both of them come across as very plain and
They're unexceptional.
yeah. Nothing that they can remember is exceptional about either of them. Except
Quite
for-
unusual. Sure, usually people have some form of exceptionalness about them, something that
not in the
gives them
trouble.
character. Do you know of anyone else who seems to be trying to fly under the radar?
Well, most of the town does, she says.
Yes,
Very
but
few people talk about where they come from,
Except for
who
your
their
brother.
parents are.
Why is the town like that?
They're all made up of refugees who are dealing with the loss of their life.
Yeah.
but I mean more than that. Like
Yeah. People who are even for a
the
town like
perfect
this.
everyman or every woman.
Well, they go, well, you've got Llewell here. He's the perfect every elf.
Very
No,
true.
he's not. He has flair on top of castles. He flares a lot.
Yes, it's a nice hairstyle.
Well, he's the banner they've all rallied behind.
If you're in my line of work, is there anyone that stood out as strange? Anyone that
His sister.
gave you a... Well, yes, I haven't met her yet, and I'm not sure if I like that or not. Is there anyone that's made your skin crawl?
Again, his older sister.
Someone who is so bland they're
Anyone
exceptional.
outside of his older sister?
No one as bad as his older sister.
Again, not sure if I would want to meet her or not.
Just has that look of tearing you apart by looking at you.
Ah. Is there anybody else that has that look?
Father Pat.
That might flash every now and again? Has she met the younger sister?
Not yet. Though the older sister did have a presence that made you just tell her whatever you wanted.
So the only people that you can think of who interacted, like that seem to be strongly connected to his kitchen hand is the partner who works at the outer perimeter guard.
Yep. Yeah, she basically it seems to be the go-to person for guard duty if someone else can't make it.
Right. Always out ready to make a hole in the defences. Lovely.
And making suggestions on how to improve it.
Mm. Mm. Being helpful.
Okay, so there's nobody else that seems to be.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
I think. Oh, I'm not using anything at the moment. I'm just trying to wonder if we trust her with the information of what we're hunting.
Marigold.
Hmm.
Yes.
Probably won't understand it because even though she deals in secrets, some secrets just aren't part of her repertoire.
Yeah, but she would still write them down and hand it on to those people who do. One of whom is Redrim.
So I think
That's
Steve
right.
would say, well, it's fairly obvious that we're investigating something. Is this something we should share?
Definitely. Marigold will find out about it anyway. Might as well tell her to start with.
So I explained to Marigold what we're hunting, what happened earlier today. Asked if she has contacts, insight, anything that might help us.
Well, that would explain why the cook who normally uses that station didn't come in tonight.
Mm. Which also explains why he was the one who was holding the drinks that were supposed to go outside too. Mm.
Didn't we say that they weren't the one that...
He was.
was the cook the one we killed?
The cook was not the one you killed.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
So you know you're tracking down a cook. Do we know where the cook lives?
Well, it's not hard. This place is not large.
Mm-hmm.
So we're tracking down 3 or 4?
You're thinking you're tracking down 2.
Yeah. There was.
At this point, because we haven't actually talked to Cal, Chris, or Dracula, so we don't know the three different handwritings.
One of the other ones.
Yeah.
And these 2 lived together that you're tracking down, and both of them are currently missing.
And speaking of the fact that
better run for
Calcrix and Drachnama are doing their thing and Father Pat is along for the ride, where is Nadar?
Along for the ride.
I wonder how safe it would be to be kind of, because Nadar's not very much of a in person, like doesn't really do any of the drinking, partying, dancing kind of nonsense. How safe it would be to just be kind of wandering around the town, trying to see anything that stands out as not right.
Well, as you're wandering around, you do see that the one of the rooms is sort of left ajar, unlike most of the doors which are shut.
Well, I've got to go look.
Of course.
Yeah, an open door just begs you to go and look inside it.
Exactly, it's like a big red button.
I know.
It's kind of like a role-playing choice. It's like we didn't do anything all game. There was no leads, but you walked past the open door.
and the people, you know, filing through books and stuff.
To be appropriately neat.
She might walk over to the open door and then close it just so that nobody breaks in or snoops with it.
Yeah, just close the open door.
Okay, as you reach the door, you get the smell of fire.
Oh. Let's do something about that.
Close the door. don't leave oxygen.
That's not the response.
Now, is it the smell of fire of something cooking, or just like a little fireplace?
So, smell of something burning.
As in the house might come down? Like burning?
That's completely up to what Nadar does next.
Okay, right. Well, it's just that like you're burning. I'm like, well, fire could be a lot of different types of burning. That could be burning or cooking.
Exactly.
But I think it's more than burning cooking.
Alright, I'm gonna have to have a look.
Could be a red herring. It could
Okay.
be burning cooking.
Who's cooking fish?
Looking in the room, there is a bookcase on fire.
Oh.
Books!
Oh
No,
no,
save
they
the books.
lured Nadar right into the trap. There's their human sacrifice or life sacrifice right there. And
One
then.
sacrifice coming right up.
Yeah.
Alright, I would want to do a check just to see if it's like books. I don't know.
Yeah, it's really on fire.
Well, you can't really see if there are any books on it, but the bookcase is on fire.
Douse the fire, then check the books. Not the other way around.
Fire brigade?
Hmm.
Do they have one here?
You're
Yes,
running
question. Is there a fire brigade?
This place is too small to have a fire brigade. We do
Well,
have
they're
people with
likely to be
buckets.
like fire people.
We do have people with buckets.
Yeah.
We do have some minor
Bucket
mages
lights.
with cold mortar spells.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Nadar's a water wizard, water aspected
Yeah.
wizard, isn't he?
No, Nadar is
He's
a
Earth.
earth aspected.
Ah,
Drazzle's the water
But
aspected one.
earth can still be used in the sense
Smothering
of
to take out the fire.
yeah.
Earth can be used for smother.
Yeah.
So it's still valid.
Well, is there any water in the room? Because I do have control water.
Looking in the room, this is a storage room,
So no.
and it seems to be right beneath the head of the city's room,
Oh.
head of the settlement's room.
Oh,
So
that,
below Lua's room,
it's that storeroom.
Yeah.
Yes.
where the blood elves meet.
So, it's the one with apparently a confluence of the routes that I wasn't certain whether we'd actually come across because of the fact that we
Yes.
necessarily get there, they got to use time.
Yeah, by the time we figure out the runes, the blood elves are going to be gone.
And the room will be burnt.
Yep.
So what does Nadar do, seeing there's no water you can move?
Well, she's earth aspect. She's
Wow.
by lying on it.
How far away am I from other people?
Well, you can see off in the distance Cow Creeks and
They're
and-
stones, they're no help.
Yep, they do look stoned.
Father Pat's not stoned, he's on guard.
The way that they're walking and moving as if they're wading through water.
It's just
Yeah, they're-
typical. Give us these vital clues and then make them absolutely useless.
They're still vital clues,
Uh,
and they're still useful.
Right until they go away.
yeah.
Alright, for the last, because I have
Father Pat is not
message, if I
stoned,
can
by the way.
see them,
And you can see Father Pat sitting on the ground about 60 feet down.
Just
Father
watching
Pat
you
would
turn
probably
me
be
off.
more useful because he's sober.
Yes.
And recently
So-
caffeinated.
Even better. So I have a message, so I can point at Father Pat and say, get your butt over here, there's a fire and I am not smart enough to realise a trap.
That fits within the 25 words.
You can reply to this message.
But do I know where the messages come from? So I
You-
don't know
you-
where. So getting my butt over where?
You're assuming the tree somewhere.
So
Somewhere up that 150 foot tree.
exactly where up the tree do you want my butt?
Unfortunately, that requires a new spell.
Sorry.
Unfortunately, that requires a new spell to
He could
reply.
yell up.
But you-
Look for the smoke!
Your reply goes through, but she can't respond back without another spell.
Message is a cantrip, though, isn't it?
Yeah, message is a cantrip.
Yep. Yes.
But hey, you can spend another action to cast off another spell and tell him.
Or do something about the fire.
There's no fire.
Or you could just yell up here.
That's true. I'll just scream.
Yeah, because if
Fire!
Fire! Fire! In the tree!
fire, okay, where? Where do you want it?
Exactly. Father Pat pulled out his crossbow. Where? Where do you want me to fire?
No, Father Pat wouldn't be able to see me. 60 feet's probably too far.
In the trees, I think you're well blended being green.
60 feet's only the length of a house.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Hey,
Yeah.
maybe would Father Pat be able to see me?
Especially if you're yelling and jumping about waving.
Well, the moment you start waving, you would see, but if you're just sitting there, he probably might miss you.
But wave, yeah, no problem.
Well, after the message, because it whispers to him, I would assume that, well, I don't know, would Father Pat be on the lookout for someone who's just talked to him?
Well, he said he was
Yes.
looking around. Yes, he does.
Where?
See you. I'll give him a perception roll to make sure he actually can see you. Because, hey, someone can roll a 1.
All my dice in the bag. That's alright. That's one in the bag.
Do you want my spinny dice?
Oh,
Oh, except don't roll it that way up. A D12 is not the best way to get a D20.
No.
6.
And what do you add to it? Just nothing?
Oh, well, perception's wisdom, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
No, I think
Yep.
+2, +3.
And are you proficient?
Would you be proficient in it?
Sorry?
Are you proficient with it?
Well, that's the sort of thing I haven't quite worked out yet, but I would think I would be reasonably proficient, yes.
In which case, then it would be +6.
Okay, 12.
12 would be enough to see a dragonborn 60 feet away waving at you, who wants to be seen.
Yes.
All
If it
right.
was a
Maybe
dragonborn
some-
sneaking who didn't want to be seen, then no, you wouldn't see it.
Yes.
But you do see Nadar, and you do see Drazzle sort of sitting nearby, just watching in interest as he's writing in his book.
Oh,
The
So-
disasters are unfolding in triplicate.
Well, he gets to note everything that goes wrong.
Mm.
All right. Don't go away, you two.
I think you might have safe.
Okay,
Right.
so
I'll go off and see what she's carrying on about.
that doesn't take you long to get up there, following the ramp and then having to run the whole way.
With one leg. Gadunk, 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 gadunk.
And you reach Nadar with standing in front of a door that has this back glow behind it.
How long does it take me to get up there?
Probably about 2 rounds.
So she has, and she's done nothing to put the fire out?
I was getting your attention, that's what she did.
No, I just sent another message being like, hurry up!
I'm coming!
Throw some dirt on it, you earth witch.
Yeah, something like that, yes.
That's within 25 words.
a bit.
Does Nadar have prestidigitation?
Hang on.
It is a cantrip.
Yeah, I'm just checking what I've got. No, I do not.
Wow, you're the first person I know who has
I
magic
know.
that doesn't
What the
have
fuck?
prestidigitation.
That's the wizard do simple stuff. Like you can snuff out candles and stuff. Wouldn't put the fire out, but you could do other things with it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
There's
like
no
the dirt
word limit on
the
message.
thing.
Hmm.
All right.
Well, it's normally meant to keep it within less than a round.
Father
So
Pat, is there anything he can see that he could smother the fire with?
okay, give me a investigation roll as you try to figure out what you can use.
The Dragonborn?
First dragon.
Have we been told about the
Throw
fire
dirt
yet?
about it.
You've just heard someone yell fire.
Right, somebody find out where that is, we're going there.
And then yelling, hurry up!
15. Yep.
Okay, looking
we'll
around,
head-
you would add your
I'm assuming we're going to head
This is
towards the
+1.
kerfuffle.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
looking
we-
around, you can.
I have engineering specialists.
We are,
Specialist engineering. Surely I can find a door that I can kick over the fire or do something with it.
we are kerfufflewards.
You can
And woolen
smother it
rug
with
would do
your clothing very easily and your shields.
I will do said thing.
Okay, so you do notice that the fire shield you have
I was
in
going to say, not the
particular
fire resistance cooling shield.
literally puts the fire out as it touches it,
Yes.
Nice.
but causes cold damage to you.
Right.
So you end up taking.
But does the other shield protect you from
Cold,
cold,
damage. That's what I want to know about because I got both.
Because if you're wearing both shields,
You end up taking 13 points of cold
Cold
damage, whereas you think someone who was water aspected wouldn't take any. It's one of the drawbacks of the shield.
Yeah.
If you're fire aspected, you would take the whole damage.
What aspect are you?
Earth.
Like Nadar. And Dracula.
That's why I think it's smothering the fire with Nadar, actually.
Okay, so Lowell shows up with the rest of them at this point. As
Yes.
everyone has made it here, even those who are going around looking at runes.
Yes. Yes. We're actually going to pop through the
Are we
window.
still seeing lots of runes in this location?
This is where you make this is where you notice the congregation of runes in the one location, just as everyone else showed up, as we tie
Yep.
together the three different storylines.
Yes. We're going to pop through the window because I'm coming in using
Coming in hot, so to speak.
dimension door. Basically, we're going to appear just inside the window.
As soon as we get there, can I investigate?
Yes. Give me an investigate roll.
How bad's the fire at this point?
Most of the room has been blackened,
But there's not
and Drachnamar and Calcrix notice runes of corruption written into the ceiling of the storeroom. It's not visible under the normal eyes.
Can I see it with detect magic?
How aware are Calcrix and Drachnima of the real world surroundings?
You can see.
Are they aware that the others are programmed here, or is it simply Drachnima talking to Calcrix and pointing, hey, look, there's many of them just on the roof.
My initial investigation roll is a 23.
Okay, so for Drachnamir's perspective, you do recognize the others are here, but hey, it's not as important as this peace pipe and the discussion you're having.
Yep.
As you and Calrix are happily getting along, talking about these things on the roof.
Yep.
And you're not even worried about the fact that Eep's in the room either.
He's really off his
He's
feet. Can I see them with detect magic?
Detect magic gets you that the bookcase itself is having failing magic on it.
So I rolled
I
a
got identify the
23
school.
for investigation.
You believe it was a transmutation effect. And with the investigation, you can tell the fire was deliberately lit to destroy whatever was on the bookshelves.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see anything in the ashes?
Looks to be various tools, scrolls, and potential food.
To check all of that in detail. I will tell the others what I saw. Something, the fire was set to destroy something that is or was on the shelves, and transmutation spell was part of it. That spell is, the effect of that spell is fading.
Okay, can I switch to studying the room for a minute and do search for secrets?
You can. And from what Calcrix and Drachnamar can see on the ceiling, it is all about increasing the anxiety and frustrations of the person who sleeps in the room above.
Increasing the what?
Anxiety and frustrations. I.e. giving them a shorter fuse.
Mental note: when go to bed tonight, check room for corruption sigils.
And you'd think the more someone slept in that room, the worse it would get.
Nightmares.
So I actually just saved my sister from some bad shit.
It was your room, wasn't it?
Yes, which she'd
It's your
taken
room.
over. She took it over before I took it back.
And now you've given her a month of detox.
Yes. See, I've saved her.
I'm not sure she thinks of it that way.
I don't care. I do,
Just
and
point
that's what
that out.
matters right now. I get to use
Funnily
it.
enough, that kind of attitude was not appropriate for Drachnima.
Dragnimmer's attitude was not the same.
Dragnimmer was going to burn down and kill an entire village.
Because-
I'm talking about the attitude of...
That's unfair. He's only going to cleanse the entire...
Hold on, I can't hear him!
Okay, go, Jeremy.
Jeremy, please.
I was saying the fact that referring to the idea of what was best for the person based upon Law's perspective as opposed to what the person's perspective was. The idea of corruption versus enlightenment depending upon the perspective involved.
I don't see what you're talking about.
It's irrelevant. It was a plain comment that was...
Yeah. I don't see your point. Sorry.
Calbrix would wave the peace pipe and distract Dragnimmer again.
There wasn't Dragnimmer's comment. It was a plain comment.
Yeah.
Okay, you think they are in the middle of trying to escape.
How far away would they be, given how much damage this fire's done here? They probably won't be very far.
You'd think they would probably have left maybe 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
Probably about the time you... they probably would have started the fire not long after you killed the server.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, so not very long.
It's been a while though.
It has been a little bit.
It's been an evening.
It
But they've only just started to go, and they've only just left.
most
5 to 10
likely
minutes
had
ago.
to destroy evidence before going and left a few
Yeah.
things accidentally because timing was bad.
Yeah, they probably spent all their time destroying all the stuff at their house and hideout. Can't remember. I've got a thing for doing voice stuff.
Since I started observing.
I was going to say, Martin did say that they probably left a few things behind.
And what was your investigation again?
For Sense for Secrets, 26.
26. Okay, looking around, you can tell that they went to an effort to obscure what was on the ceiling, as well as set a incendiary on the bookshelf as a distraction, so it would blacken the ceiling.
Which would,
Isn't
if
a
it had
good
lasted
thing-
long enough, would have concealed all the runes.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say. Isn't it a good thing?
The runes aren't visible without the...
Yeah, but it would
Without the
it would
drugs.
also make them harder to find too.
Also,
So-
detect magic doesn't bring them up.
Right. Okay.
Is there anything I can find in the traces of stuff left behind that might
Yes,
help us?
the incendiary device contains lead in it.
That's
Useful in covering things.
What did it contain, sorry?
lead.
Lead.
They'd have used lead powder because it will conceal things from
Where would
magic,
you
from
get
various
lead
detection
powder?
types.
It's
Powder,
not something
just-
most people do.
It's you get a piece of lead and go for it with a file.
Yeah, but where are the kind of places that you might get?
Alchemist place.
Alchemy, any major city would have lead available.
Yeah.
In the tools and scrolls and potential food, is there anything I can recognise?
Looking there, looks like stuff was placed there more to distract than actually be destroyed.
Right.
So what they're trying to leave, false trail.
Yeah.
I guess what I was meaning when I said where you can get lead from is that sometimes you could trace people when you need a particular element or something.
Selenica would be the closest place you can get lead from.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's not likely to be a useful.
Yeah. And anywhere there's mining, mostly.
Selenica is the closest place.
Yeah, Salonica's the closest place because Alpha isn't going to be doing a lot of mining.
And neither is Darakin.
Yeah. I'm going to Dimension Door to the Lawkeepers. I'm going to tell him what's been going on, who we're after.
He mentions that one of their books has been stolen.
And you'll want to get that back, yes.
Which book?
So,
He says one of the books on the he'd been researching on the World Tree.
I was actually the Law LAW keeper, not LORE, but
He was
His-
pointing out what the
Yeah. he'd have got that as well.
because both law keepers would be talking to each other.
Yes.
Well,
And-
yes, if a law keeper lost his book, he would go to the law to
Keeper.
report it.
So you jumping to the law keeper, you met both of them.
Yes.
But
Cool.
we might
This
also
is
be
who-
able to get a
this is-
description of that.
This is who we're after. This is their timing. This is what's just happened. Basically, I'll go over what we've just gone through.
He gives you a description of the book,
Yep.
and you realise it was one that you had been getting to figure out how to plant the seed you gathered.
So we could locate object
Yes.
if we get a
Because
good
that's
enough
one I've
description.
used a lot. And I have located object. as
It
a
was
ritual.
one of your personal reference books.
Yes. Not just a book. One of my
And
books.
Calcrix, if Calcrix was making that suggestion as Calcrix, is not making that because that's exactly how they stole a holy spear from Yolaran without meaning to.
Yes.
And she's
So-
not hiding that spear right now.
There's nothing to indicate where these blood elves would go. There's nothing physical that could help me.
We don't have any
Um,
clues yet until we get to the house.
I was going to say, so next stop is the house.
Yes.
Object.
Which I now know where it is. Because the lawkeeper knows. This place isn't huge. Everybody knows everyone.
He says that
That's
house
right.
seems to have closed in upon itself. He doesn't know how.
How long till
They had a little time to actually do various things, so they could have set that up. Yeah.
how long till Calcrix go? Do you think?
What would Calcrix like to do?
Locate object based on the drawing and the description given
Okay.
of this book that's been stolen by these blood elves.
Yes.
Ritual cast?
It is. I can do it as a ritual.
And that would be a Arcana check for you.
Yes. I do not have the stats, but I think you've had them up.
If Calcrix is doing a ritual, how long would that take?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Okay, can I duck into the hallway or somewhere quiet and do a sending ritual?
You can.
Does this mean that the gods will fall off the peace
Except.
the- I'm sorry, what?
Sorry.
Except.
You've written in brackets here 1 minute reusable control components, which might be mean that with downtime I learnt to do this one faster than 10 minutes.
I believe you did, yes.
Yes, so it only takes me a minute. Sorry.
Well, that's okay. No, I'm just thinking because if Lowell ducked out, and well, not all of us went through the dimension door, as soon as I realised the room was a dead end, I would probably find somewhere quiet away from the party to do a sending to Satoshi about the what's happened in the Blood Elves.
Yeah.
Except, like, I don't, for those who are just, like, you're doing research in the room, let's say, if Dracima and Calcrix have arrived still in the drug haze, having looked up and seen the markings on the runes and saying, hey, that's on the roof, and saying, hey, yep, they're Calcrix, but hey, there's more up there, Dracima would have taken half-dragon form and actually flown up and be circling all these runes on the ceiling.
You could literally reach up and do that without having to change.
Okay, after that then?
Not large room
because-
because it's a storage room.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right then, but the idea being that yes, there's certainly whatever attitude that the rest of the party thinking that Calcrix and Dracula are currently in, there's certainly a tension going to the ceiling.
Yes.
Calcrix.
I mean, I would assume that I'd be like, what the heck is wrong with you two?
Calcrix will have shown you her journal if you asked her. And
you
the
can-
journal will show the sketch of the runes on the ceiling.
And you
Then
can
she
smell
would
the smoke.
explain that Drachnamar has explained to her that this is the language of the Blood Elves and that this is corruption runes.
So, are we recovered from the drugs at the moment?
You can choose to recover at any point you stop using it.
Well, Cavrix,
Okay.
having seen everybody else in the room, would have gone, something is afoot here. I think it's time to pay attention. And obviously, this has done exactly what Atruaghin intended, which was to help us not just, what's the word? Work in harmony, but also achieve our goal of stopping Exantiople.
Okay. So Calcrix took notes of all the runes that she saw.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
They're in a, just so that people know, particularly a certain seasoned Fey elf, the book is magic. You can look and see things in the book, but you can't copy anything out of that book. It's not something that legend lore will bring out.
And you can't use memory to copy it down.
That's why she's chosen that book to put these notes in. She doesn't want it to be recoverable by anyone.
Excellent. Good work.
Yeah, that's smart. Would Nadara seen anything similar while walking through the town coming across this door?
None of those symbols are visible to normal people.
Okay.
I probably wasn't even in the room when you showed that, because as soon as I realised it was a false trail and there was no physical things I could find, I probably went to go talk to Satoshi and get a little bit of alarm up.
I was just covering my bases.
So while you're doing that, Llewell gets ascending.
Mm-hmm.
Hey brother, I found some people.
I also got an 18 on
Excellent.
From your sister.
Excellent. Location?
Oh, they're probably about 10 minutes out of town to the north.
On my way.
I got my...
Take your time, they're not moving very far.
Oh, my locate object probably won't need much.
So you caught them, not just found them.
Caught is a, rather large, term.
They might be dead.
You've slowed them down.
Well, I've animated their bones. They're still alive.
It's a you thing. That's okay.
Their bones just don't respond to them anymore.
They're having such a fun time right now. And it goes so much with their own bloody aesthetic too. Anyway, on our way.
Well, they just sort of stumbled on me working on their friend and got very upset.
So now they're standing watching you, right?
Oh yeah, they're watching me finish.
On my way.
Do you need the locate object then?
No, not at the moment. They're about 10 minutes north of here. My sister... They found my sister
Depends
and
on
my
if it's
sister has
possible.
detained them.
Because we'll need the book either way.
Yeah, well, we might need the locate object for the book, certainly. Locate object is not something I'd have on my list, even potentially.
Calcrix has it.
Yeah, I've just
No,
rolled
Calcrix
an
has it.
18.
I'm just saying I
know
don't.
what my-
And yes, you do get the feeling it's to the north of you.
Yeah.
And you can lead the rest of the party directly there.
Just being thorough about finding the book because we need it for planting the world tree.
Yes.
So
we
you
do.
get each of you get notification that Calcrix has determined where the escapees are.
Excellent.
Well, technically it was Claw's sister, but yeah.
Well, we've got a
We
location.
don't want to tell Drachnamar that.
No, we don't.
Is that before my 10 minutes is up or after?
That is before your 10 minutes is up. While you're in the middle of preparing the ritual.
Okay, I'll stop and rejoin.
Sorry.
Okay.
No, it's more important.
So you're led about 5 minutes to the north of town before you find yourself in a cave system.
Yeah. Yes, considering we'll be flying at this point
Mhm.
with our various methods of flight.
It's I
And-
think Father Pat has to ride me or your carpet.
Yeah, it's
my
about
carpet's fine.
it's a cabin about 100 feet underground.
I can see why they went this way. Blood elves, they'd have gone downwards.
Yeah, we've got to be careful of traps unless your sister's cleared the way.
Oh, she's down there, so yeah.
I mean, I can deal with traps.
Yeah, certainly. We will be careful. Certainly.
Though you do see tracks of your sister's lizard and cart.
Mm-hmm.
Until you finally catch up with it and seeing that there is a workshop down here where there wasn't one before.
So they came down here to run away and discovered your hideaway.
Oh,
Nice work.
well, you also notice the cart's not here at the moment.
Oh, just the tracks.
The tracks of the cart lead up to where the workshop is.
Yeah,
The workshop probably is converted from a cart
quite possibly.
and everything.
And you can see two burnt looking elves just sort of standing mid-stride.
I look around. Can I see my sister?
You can see your sister and some of the remains of the one she'd taken with her.
I'm not going to look at what she's working on. Walk over to this pair behind them, so they'll hear me, but they're not going to see me. Are either of them carrying anything the size and shape of a book?
One of them has a book by its feet.
Mm-hmm.
Another one has a backpack by its feet.
Right.
I first envisioned that as a book with feet, and it's holding the feet of the book.
Yes. That's a great visualization.
It's kind of like when you said the spell book. My brain just does weird shit.
It's interesting, I like it.
I cast animate object and the book scuttles over to me.
Adriana, I have the same thought.
And so, yes, you do see your book sitting down there.
Mm-hmm. I reach down and pick it up. Pick up the backpack as well.
Looking inside, you find a bunch of your personal belongings.
Oh, they're thieves as well as blood elves. That's
Well,
just everything.
Including things such as some of your hair from...
Brush.
all things that can be used in witch doctoring.
Yes.
Or blood elving.
If they can't corrupt you in person, then they can corrupt you from a distance.
That's right.
I have a feeling someone's going to smite these guys.
Can I draw my dagger,
You
my
can.
sacred dagger, and stand very close but not touching the two elves?
You can feel your skin sort of warm as you're close to them. So you think of it more of a warning to you than a protection to them.
These guys are...
Oh, I'm still standing there with the dagger pointed.
Remember, don't touch them.
I'm not going to touch them. My dagger is a throwing dagger.
That's fair.
Because I got so close to the last blood elf, making him naked, do I notice any similarities other than like the burnt look of them?
Well, they look as if they have been living under a constant sun with little protection for most of their lives.
Right.
So that their skin is infused with the energy of the sun. In this case, not the sun you're used to.
Yeah.
Is there any semblance to the pyro shard that I held for God knows how long? Or is it a different kind of sun?
It is a similar feeling, but not as pure.
Okay.
Remember, we did find out that that shard, or a shard of that type, was used to create the sun.
It was that shard.
It was that shard. It was used to create the sun in the Hollow Earth.
Okay, yeah.
It will
That makes
feel,
sense.
it will feel exactly the same. But
Well,
that identifies that.
The energy
Well,
coming
it's
off
pure.
them
It's
feels
okay.
corrupted.
It's less pure, but yeah, it's the same energy. Yeah.
sort of like twisted to another purpose.
Sorry to make you, but I've got to go get tablets. I can't take this.
poor cat.
He'll just have to go.
Okay, he's been lying on top of me most of the day.
Perfectly reasonable space for it.
So are we interrogating these two, or can I just kill them?
I was about to ask my sister, do you need more than one to gain the information you're presently after?
Well, she'll use whatever she can get.
Sorry.
But you're welcome to them first if you wish.
I have no reason to touch them. In fact, if I touch them, it would probably hurt.
Well,
It
I
wouldn't make sense to take them
She
back.
says I can have them step out of their own skin if that would help.
We
To
could
try.
possibly want to ask
Would
them
you-
some questions first.
Would you find them... Oh. It would have to be very careful questioning, that's the problem.
Yes. We don't let
Um,
Drachnova do it. Let's just put it that way.
Well,
That's it.
Currently, they can't move their own skeleton.
Could do a bit of interrogation.
You could.
They would have
If
to
we
release them
do
first,
that-
she says.
It might be best to separate them so they can't
Collude.
make up the same lie.
Yeah.
If I'm asking the questions, it doesn't matter.
I was going to say, there's someone
That's a good point.
who's good at questioning. I think I couldn't remember.
And
but
the sister
earlier-
asked, how would you like them separated? Limbs sorted, head sorted.
Just the two of them in different locations. Individually. As a whole.
In parts.
No. Individually as a whole.
She sort of gestures and you see one of the bodies just slide along the floor with her gesture.
I feel that between me and Immoral,
Yep.
we can probably get most things we need. Oh, no, they're magic. Magic won't work. I can get fairly good information out of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
She does say that they can't respond until she lowers her spell.
Does it lower entirely, or can you just allow them to speak?
If she allows them to speak, they will be able to move their bones again.
Right. Which means
Technically,
you're
I don't
fighting.
need them to reply.
In that case, go for your lash, she says.
Cool.
Or theirs.
So,
Either way, she's
just
happy.
checking.
Oh, that's right.
The wording for this is
Magic
when I ask a yes or no question to a creature I can see, I can make a deception check opposed by the target's perception check. On a success, I learn whether the target believes the answer to be yes or no, even if they didn't reply.
Yep, that would work.
Because they've got muscles that work even if their bones don't, and it's the muscles moving is what you're responding to.
Yep.
Partly.
And they can literally try to move their tongue to talk, but they just
Yeah.
can't move their jaw.
So they can talk like this.
Yeah.
It would actually work. Except no,
So-
because they can't actually make air come out. Because you need to be able to move your lungs to do that.
So are they currently
That's more muscle.
separating?
They could make
The
clicking.
diaphragm.
They could make no. Oh, sorry. Yeah, muscles on the diaphragm. Yeah, they could probably do it.
They could
it
still
wouldn't sound
talk,
like
yes.
much.
They can
yeah,
still
they can still
breathe.
talk a bit. You're quite right.
Okay,
Um,
so what question do you wish to ask?
My first question is going to be, are there any more blood elves in, what's the elves town's name?
Tinovavoda.
In Tenerife.
Yeah.
And I have a question. Could I say this perception roll falls under mimicry, ciphers, or concealing emotions?
Definitely under concealing emotions at this stage because they wouldn't want to tell you.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so you can tell that they, while they want to say yes, there are people there. You know that they don't believe there is anyone there.
So they don't believe there is anyone still at the town.
They do. not.
Do we have anything else in particular we want to know, or
Are there
are there any traps?
where are
left
there
for us
any
in the
other
town?
blood elves?
I can only ask yes or no. Are there any other traps in the town that we should be that you have left?
They say yes, but you understand that they're actually saying no. You have a
Okay, so
feeling
there's no
they.
traps, no more blood elves.
You have a feeling they were trying to be subtle and not be noticed, except things got out of hand.
What about, are there any other conclaves that they know of?
Yep. Are there any other conclaves of blood elves that you know of? Outside of the Hollow World?
They say no, but you know that they're saying yes.
I guess the question will be, how the hell do we find out the locations if they know them?
Get onto that in a minute. At the moment, I'm just looking for basic.
Yep.
Though the world will have heard of one being in Dragon Tree nearby.
Where?
Dragon Tree.
One of the bad magic points.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll mention that.
That was what was dealt with in the last game year.
Yeah.
I see.
Are there any...
It's about 100 miles away.
Do you know what I am?
You do get it saying no, even though you know it's saying yes.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any are there any more of you currently infiltrating my people?
He says no, and you get a feeling he's saying no.
Yeah.
Okay. Was your aim to help the master?
It's not a bad question.
Okay, so it doesn't seem to understand your question, and it goes, it says no, and you're more of a feeling that it probably was trying to help the master, even though it wasn't its intention.
So it had a different task, but it knew what it was doing would help the master.
Indirectly, it would help the
Yeah.
master, but it wasn't intentionally helping the
That's
master.
what I'm saying. It wasn't the object of what they're doing, but it knew it would help him.
Are your people under threat from the master?
It says no, and you get the feeling of no.
Too easily recruitable. They're not going to be a threat.
Not even needing to be recruited, they're technically
But if he's trying to take out all
That's
elves,
true.
wouldn't that include blood elves?
Well, they serve Xanthiotl, who's basically behind the master, so they both serve the same master anyway.
There are people out there who believe in the god so much that the god demanded their own death, that the god told the entire people that they had sinned against the god and angered him, they should all kill themselves. They would do exactly that.
And the Blood Elves are religious fanatical enough to do so.
Yep.
Does anyone else have any other questions? I can't think of anything right this second.
The most I can think about is whether or not they know where the other conclaves are.
Do you know where the other conclaves are?
He says no, but you have a feeling that it's yes.
Yes, but the thing is, with yes/no questions, how are we going to find out?
Well,
That's it.
that's it. We
Yeah.
at least
Are
know that
they
perhaps we want to keep them alive
Are the
to find a way
conclaves
to
to the
track down the
north?
conclaves.
Yeah, to get some more answers out.
Well-
It's the difference between instant kill. They got no more information
Yeah.
for
Well,
us.
you can work out where they are through the,
Yeah.
you go to the cardinal directions. Are they to the north? Yes,
Yeah.
no. Are they the east? Yes,
Well,
no.
they
Yeah,
might
but
be
then
everywhere.
is it 10 miles away?
But at least
15
you know
miles
which direction
away,
they're
whatever.
in.
Yeah, I know, we get direction, but it might be 1,000 miles off.
But then- then
And
the-
technically,
While they're discussing this,
More than 10.
Yeah. But,
while they're discussing this, my question is: were you taking this book to someone?
he
That's
says
a really good question.
no, but you know it was yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering about the book and I just didn't know how to ask it in a yes/no question.
Yeah.
And
Whose
you-
orders are you under? Whose orders are you at present? You can't do that because it's a yes/no.
Was that someone a part of your clan?
He says no, and you know it's a no.
Okay.
Were they paid by someone?
Was that someone serving the master?
He says no again, and you know it's a yes.
Was it the master?
Was it the master?
Do you know where the master is?
He says a no, and you know it's a no.
So it's somebody serving the master, but not. Do you guys know any particularly prominent? Would I know particularly prominent people under the master that I could run through?
None of his servants are well known. He has kept nearly everything about him out of print, out of people's knowledge, and all his high-up servants are generally undead.
You don't have to ask all of these questions, but I'm just thinking, as both Calcrick's thinking and both the player thinking, because that elf that died listed a bunch of people that we know, but we don't know if they were real people. Question is do they know who we are? And is the person who's commanding them connected to any of us?
Break that into two questions. Do you know who we are?
It says no, though you know it does know you.
Is
Or-
the
or at least
person
some
who
of
are
you.
taking the book to somebody connected to us?
He says no, and you get a feeling of no, but it's more he has no idea who the person he's taking it to is connected
There was
to.
a chance there was that. But there was a chance it was a yes, and it was like one of Lul's people, or, you know. But this also means that it's highly likely not going to be more of Lul's staff or people's, which means hopefully we'll be able to convince Drachnama not to burn them all alive.
Have you converted any of the people in Llewellstown?
He says yes, and you get a feeling of no.
Yeah. He's trying to screw you up.
Well, it would play as many mind games as possible.
I feel that Saker is going to have to explain to Drachnama the side of this conversation he can't hear.
Oh, I will.
Well, Dracula's not hearing any of it.
Oh, good.
I'll be explaining this to everybody.
That uncomplicates things.
So they're heading north. What's north of us at the moment?
Alfheim.
Alpine. Is the person you are taking the book to in Alpine?
It says no, and you get a feeling of no.
On the other side of Alfheim isn't very far.
Can I do that for all the countries?
Oh,
Like just list countries.
There are not that many countries north of you, but as it was heading down, not across, it could easily have been heading home or heading to the Shadow Elf realm.
They did say that. No, they didn't, did they? They said it wasn't a blood elf. Were you taking the book to somebody in the Hollow World?
He says yes, so you know it's a no.
Where you take. I'm not just talking about the countries in the north. I start listing every single country.
He basically says no to every other country, and it comes across as a no.
Right.
So, township, wood, province, plain, realm.
Were you taking it to someone on this plane?
It does say yes, and you do get a feeling of yes.
Gods don't live on this plane, do they?
So you do hear from Llewell's sister that her spell is starting to finish.
Yep.
Yeah.
Be quick, or she'll have to end it.
She may have to use her more vigorous direct questioning.
I kill them. Do we tie them, like restrain them somehow? What do you guys want me to do?
I don't think we can get anything more useful out of these people.
Not alive.
Calcrick's,
Well,
I don't know if she's
there's
got
we,
visibility
and there's
and
my sister.
magic or anything, but Does she have a sense as to whether or not it's worth doing more investigation
So,
on?
What are the laws of the community about it?
What sort of
I mean,
investigation
King,
would you
he's
like?
a-
can do what you
Could we
like,
let
but
Ariadne finish?
so yeah.
Like she tends to contact spiritual planes and things like
Mhm.
that for
Mm.
nudges from the various gods who like to pull her strings. And
Mm.
basically what she's searching for right now is, are any of her gods, probably particularly Nyx, pulling any strings that say kill them, or you could get something more out of them?
You could probably ask Nyx. She would probably be able to tell you something, but that would be actually having to summon.
Would you guys be okay to keep them alive for 10 minutes while I go and have a quick conversation with the Dread Dark Queen herself?
I have no problem with that.
Well, she's not seen as a Dread Dark Queen. She's more seen as...
Calcrix means that in a, you know how kids look up to someone that's spooky, that they love? You've got to remember,
Yeah.
she's 12 years old. This is
Yeah.
the coolest person. This
Yeah.
is the witch down the street that they love.
Yes, we will restrain them. Calcrix has someone to contact about this, so do I. I'm going to get a mirror out and I'm going to contact Raphael.
Okay,
No
so
problem killing them, I
well,
just want to check.
Because you won't be able to touch them, Seeker, Nadal will restrain them.
thank you.
Okay, you do see Druzzle sitting in the back writing stuff down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I am staying very close to them. My dagger's out, watching every movement,
Yeah.
every twitch, every eye shift, everything.
You do hear from Druzzle that the burning is a natural warning.
As I said, throwing dagger.
Yeah.
It's funny, because when you're talking to Seika, you're looking in my direction, and my brain's always like, I don't have a dagger out right now. I've got talons, so they counted as daggers.
They are for some dragons.
Yes.
Okay, so
I have Eldritch Blast.
I will do
So-
Ariadne first, who
Yeah.
suggested talking to Nyx, and then we'll do Raphael
Yeah.
for Luell,
That's
and then we'll finish up at that
Cast
point.
a circle of protection so that
Mhm.
nobody can hear my conversation.
Mm.
And I know she won't be offended by this. There's no tea, no coffee, no nothing. It's just Mistress Nyx. I would
Okay.
like your advice, please.
Give me a religion roll.
Could you check what my religion?
Your
edition
bonus
would be?
should be plus 11.
Oh yeah, that sounds fair. I really need to get the new glasses.
We will sort that out soon.
Okay, so that's a
Yes.
15. Plus 11 is 26.
Okay, so you find yourself sitting in front of a rather nice tea set.
Oh, someone make me tea for once. Calcrix gets
And-
like the big pussy boots. Oh,
And you see a pile of overly large cookies next to the tea set.
she hands one to Eve. Someone gave Eve a cookie. Thank you, mistress.
So Nyx asks, what do you need, child?
I'm going to cut it short, which the rest of my party would never believe. We're tracking down some blood elves in Kluo's land, and she calls it Kluo land because her brain can't remember all the things. And we've got two, and they're alive right now. And, well, they really deserve to be dead. Some people really shouldn't be given a second chance at promoting Exantiopolis corruption into the rest of the world. However, they know of a bunch of other clans, and they may be able to lead us to them. So we're trying to decide whether or not it's worth keeping them alive and then attempting to get more questioning from them, even though that will be a very tricky and meticulous operation to do without having mistakes, or whether we should just kill them and then use our own investigative skills. I feel like I can trust in the rest of my group and my party to use our investigative skills, but I'm young and I doubt myself.
Well, she does not believe that anything you can get from the elves you can trust. because even their beliefs are twisted. So asking for a truth from them can get you a lie.
I understand this.
They have been trained to mislead even magic.
I saw this happen to me.
She does know that you have one amongst you who dabbles in necromancy and can seek the truth even after death.
Would that be the best course for this information?
It is more trustworthy than compelling it from the living.
But still dangerous.
Still dangerous and not without risk.
Would you give us advice if we went down this path?
She has already provided advice to the necromancer in the past.
Okay. So the necromancer, would we be talking about the pretty sister of Lualand, or would we be talking about my father's elf?
It would be the pretty sister.
Okay, it's okay. I just think
Has not really advised Zal yet, but we'll be working on it.
Oh, do you need me to have tea with Zal? You, me, Zal. I think he'd like it. Yeah.
Yes, but
He has orphans too.
Zal's patron does not approve.
Maybe we can convert her. After all, there are a lot of undead who are just orphans.
That is true.
We're going to have a necromancer dragon.
How else do you become a Draco Lich, right?
You can be forced into it, but yes, you make a point.
Okay, so you get an answer that you sought.
Yep, so I'll report back to the group that I sought advice from Mistress Nix, who works enough with these people to have given the advice that we should most definitely kill them, and then if we choose to pursue to question them through, say, necromantic means, we need to be extremely careful.
Okay, and Luel? You managed to actually get Redrian without trying. Apparently he's watching.
I take it, given your speed of response, that you have seen what's going on?
He has been keeping interest in the affairs of each of the estates and had grown increasingly worried about yours, but was unable to tell you about it.
I should talk to you more often.
Well, he couldn't interfere in it until you had dealt with it.
So good Calcrix is not in the room. She learnt that lesson several years ago.
Yes, well, I'm talking to him same time you're talking to her, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not permitted to change what's happening.
What is your guidance on these two here? Personally, I don't think we can trust anything they say under their own volition.
From what he has learned of the Hollow World, from whence they come, they cannot be compelled to act against their belief without killing them.
Right.
And even if you do bring them back, they are still compelled by their belief because their life is tied into their culture.
Yep.
And once they're part of a Hollow World culture, they cannot be moved
made
out.
a
They're
commitment.
magically bound to the
They
entire...
married a cult.
Yeah. Basically, yeah, once in the Hollow World, once you're in a culture, you're bound,
This is what
magically
happens
bound
when
to
you
that
marry
culture.
people you don't understand or know. Just because they're pretty doesn't mean you can forgive their blood sacrifices in the middle of the night.
Or particularly when they wake you up.
Depends on if you're the sacrifice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, blood sacrifice, eating anchovies. Evil people.
Hang on, I like anchovies.
You can save me from them. No
I was going to say,
problem.
it sounds like you two are the
So-
people to play at a pizza party.
And you also get a sense that as Redrian is departing, having given you as much advice as he's able to in the matter, Raphael ends up there.
Well, Raphael's the one I contacted first.
But Redrian
Red-
answered.
Redrin answered. Sorry, yes, I missed the name.
And Raphael says, you have a blood elf problem, I hear.
Yes. because I'm talking to him in a mirror, he can see out of it.
He knows that if you interact with them too much, they will lead you down a path that is not where you meant to go.
We need to
And Zatiotl deals in manipulation of the mind.
Yes.
And any interaction with his people are generally planned out long before they arrive.
Very well.
One chocolate won't hurt. Just one.
If you follow any leads they give you, they will generally take you to a place you should never have been.
Yes. I've been getting that very strong impression with Zatiotl things.
And he is angry with you for what you have done.
Well, yes, we've been up operating against him for however long.
And he can't touch Drachnama. You are the next on his list.
Oh, so Drachnama's safe.
Ish.
Well, he can't affect Drachnama's people. They're outside his control.
But are
Yes.
we Drachnama's people?
No.
No.
It depends on what you consider a family.
Well, you may be part of his family unit, but you're not part of his people.
I don't know, you're all a bunch of snobs. Aren't I thankful for it?
Well, the thing is, because of what we've done in the various groups and things, you guys are members of my people, including Drachnama, but we're not a member of his.
Yeah, that's that.
Nadari,
Nadara is,
Oh,
yes.
Nadara.
All
And
Calcrick's
his
is
Drazil.
seen here
Yes.
is a reflection of the bloody dragon snoot system coming out here in the lower supposed classes.
Yeah.
And Calcrix is also technically a member of Drachnama people.
Yes.
But the rest of them are not.
Yeah, everybody should be a part of everybody. We work just as hard.
Snobby people don't work like that.
He
Yeah.
does say don't trust anything you get from them.
I'm not going to. Thank you very much.
And
Even the World Tree book we retrieved.
and be wary of anything they have touched.
Oh, very much so.
Including the
Be-
World Tree book.
They are well known to change things slightly to the point where you will destroy yourself. Because that's what
Yeah.
the corruption is about, leading you to a point where you do it yourself without any help.
Yes. The best corruption, the one you don't have to see through on your own.
So yeah, we've got to
Um,
consider this book might be corrupted.
Yeah.
We might
There
have to
are
see if we
going
can
to
find
be ways
another
to,
book.
yeah, well, there are also ways to fix things like this as well.
Yeah.
Although we might need Liney's
So
help for that
sad.
one.
I'm so happy I found a book.
Yeah.
So you may have to look back to what it was before it was touched.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we need
Does
Liney's
this
help.
mean we get to time travel with Dracul and get the book before it was taken?
Yes.
And then find out that the book they had was actually a replica of a book that isn't the real book, and goodness knows how it got there.
No,
Except for this
no,
great big
no,
paw print with
no.
a smiley face on it that says
No,
Calcrix.
better one. The book they've got and corrupted was pre-edited, so their corruption fixes it.
Oh, that's really intelligent. I
That's-
liked my one better.
That's one of the things I do, though.
You're right.
Okay,
Mine
so
was funny.
with that,
That's
Hey,
true. I'll
Could
give
we
you
still
that.
bid the big paw print in front with the happy dragon smiley face and the coffee?
Oh, I can certainly do that.
Okay.
and so now you end up finished talking to both of the
Yep.
gods. And does the party wish to do anything about the Blood Elves before we finish for the night?
I
Yes.
believe
I'm killing them.
this consensus is kill them and get any other
Alright.
information out of their dead bodies and spirits.
What's your community going to think about that?
Hmm?
What's your community going to think about it? Did you just kill blood elves just when on site? Is that
This is the leader of the local state executing a criminal.
And from the Shadow Elf belief system, executing a Blood Elf is
okay? Okay, I was just asking.
that doesn't
Yeah.
require trial.
Yeah,
So-
and they're,
So Calcrix has come back saying kill them.
I'm
Lila's come back
Well,
saying kill them.
She hasn't come back just going kill them. She's
Yeah.
explained the conversation she's had and that the outcome is that she believes, in line with her gods, that killing them and then maybe extracting information, albeit very cautiously, about these other conclaves or whether they are, is the best route. She's looking to see what every other person in the room feels about this before a decision is made. Like a vote.
Father Pat doesn't have a view.
Really, Father Pat?
The law is the law. And that's what I was trying to find out. That's the law.
Yes.
But no,
It's also
like,
the law of the forest elves.
if you've got criminals who can help find you equally or worse criminals, do you delay their death long enough to find the information that will lead you to the equally or worse criminals?
Haven't we got to train necromancer and ask them when they're dead?
And then you kill
Yeah,
all
You
of
do
them.
have trained necromancers.
And then you kill
That's
all
what
of
we're
them.
doing.
That's exactly what we do.
So we kill them.
Rather than no opinion,
I kill
you
you.
agree with us.
Well,
Because that's what we're proposing to do.
Yes, but the you come in, you say that I finished talking on my mirror. I don't know if the others could hear the other end
No,
of it. Probably
because
not, no.
they were kept just to you.
Yes.
And all they see is a reflective mirror being pointed in directions, nothing in the mirror.
Yeah.
Most gods don't share.
Yes. Well, I've got my response from 2 Immortals. That was a little surprise.
Mine gave me a pipe.
Excellent.
And the last one gave you a coffee.
Yes.
That's true.
That
They
knife,
made
please
me
use it.
the coffee.
At which
Okay.
point, I'm going to point my rod at the other one and punch a hole through its chest.
My second dagger is hitting
Oh.
the one in front of me
Mm-hmm.
twice, at the very least.
Have we asked Nadar and Draknamar as like
Draknamar wasn't there at the time,
he's not here?
Yep.
Okay.
but Nadar is.
Okay. Yep. Have we asked Nadar? Because I feel it's important that we all, even if we all agree that's on the record, we all agreed.
Yeah, I mean,
They're blood elves.
Yes.
it's
so
icky, but they're blood elves.
Yeah. They're blood elves. They're inherently, culturally and magically inherently bad.
Trained
The
to
difference
screw
be-
with people.
The
Trained to
difference
screw with you.
between us and
Yeah.
blood elves is that we ask each other, and we
are
concur
they the drow
that
equivalent?
this is
Yeah,
the way
They
we
are.
want to go.
They are a
Yeah.
little more twisted than the drow.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
I'm just trying to place it in context.
If you compare them to the drow are more likely to enslave you and use you. These guys will only sacrifice you.
Does
think
anyone
of
in this
drow,
room-
actual demon worshippers,
Right. Okay.
not
Does-
just lord queens.
Does anyone in this room right now have a greater claim than others to kill these blood?
Seeker
Elves.
has a greater claim than most because basically her people are basically hunters of them.
Right, I do.
There's a reason why I'm
Or close enough to.
getting slightly sunburned by standing near them.
Yeah.
But it's his duty.
Yeah, you have a background claim. I'm the local law.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's your
So
job.
you
Well, it's your job
The
to
question
decide who
is-
kills them.
Yeah,
Or to justify it.
there's just
Yeah.
2 of them. Do you want to take one each to kill them?
that's what we've just
Yes,
done.
please.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
so they
Then
each,
that's solved.
they each kill one each, and with that, I will say go to end credits.
Yeah.
Unless you want
Is-
to add something.
Are the 2 things if I can. Are the dead bodies going to be now taken by Lua's sister and
Yes.
questioned?
Most
Okay.
likely.
Yeah.
So not destroyed just yet.
Not destroyed.
So just as they're killed, you hear Kalkrick say, "Eep, no ding-dings yet."
Nice.
And then
Thank you.
she sidles over to Father Pat
Can I have a leg?
and
Just a leg?
opens out a journal. And in this journal, you see this picture. And it's a picture of a dragon that suspiciously looks like Kalkrick's. And she's drawing a picture. But in the picture, you see the figure of a man. And it's an older man, and he's got this great big shield with flame-like effects on the edge. And they look sharp, like she's done these little glint, glint things so you can see how sharp they are. And he doesn't have... a normal leg. He's got a prosthetic leg.
Uh-huh.
And in
I wonder
front
if
of
that
him is this artist board. And in this artist board, there is the shape of a sword. And in the middle of the room, there's this sword posing. Well, Father Pat draws his sword.
Right. And it's standing seductively like a French model.
Absolutely, like a
Yes.
French poodle.
Okay, so with that
Okay,
thought, we will
okay.
go to end credits.
Yes.
Because I'm trying not to keep people too late.
Yeah,
So when I
sorry.
sheath my sword, does the picture go away? Maybe.
I don't know.
Well, it's
I don't
now
know how
drawn.
magic works.
So it's now drawn. Yes.
But you the heck want to know how the hell Calcrix got privy to that? Because nobody told her that information when they gave her brief
Yes.
overviews of what you guys got up to.
Hmm.
Going to end credits.
Yes.